There's like 97. Oh, toots.
Okay, I think we're here. Oh, then there goes the chat. It disappeared again. Oh, it's back now. Okay, can you guys see us? Holy shit tits from Kansas City's fart farms. Whew. Yeah, I made that.
Yeah, it was Mike's internet that took a shit, not mine.
That's true. That's true.
The other shoe has happened.
Yes.
The other shoe has dropped.
Somebody forgot to pay their internet bill.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. All I know is that the internet went out the second the stream was supposed to start, and then I asked Katie to go ahead and pay the bill just in case it was that, and she said it wasn't that. But the second it paid, the internet came back on. Maybe they just needed $70 to keep their lights on over at Spectrum. I don't know.
That's what happened. Either that or your computer was suffering from all that gay porn that's downloaded on there. Who knows?
That's probably a problem. You know, I just love it though. I can't get enough of it. I gotta have it.
There's something about it. There's something about the butt plugs that just gets me going every morning.
Yeah, I need it with my coffee and my morning poo.
Yeah, I usually watch it on my tablet.
You get a bigger screen that way.
I know. That's what I like.
Have you ever noticed when you try to watch it, by the way, even if you turn the volume all the way down, when the video starts again, the volume goes straight to blast. So if you're trying to keep it low key, it's impossible because all of a sudden it'll be like, ah!
Yeah, it usually happens when I think my headphones are plugged in and they're really not. I'm like, shit. Yeah. I was like, this thing is. It was like, oh, I don't have my headphones plugged in. Now everybody hears it.
Yeah, that's the worst thing ever. You got to be quick to the thing on that. You got to be.
It's like, what are you watching? Like, oh, it's nothing. It's some kind of special on National Geographic.
It's murder. I'm watching murder. It's not sex.
Those guys are just. There's so much animal activity going on. It's ridiculous and it's hot.
I'm watching a documentary about farm animals.
Animal Kingdom, bitch.
Does everything sound okay? We kind of had like 6 fucking things happen at the same time there, you guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hopefully everything sounds decent at least up to our mediocre standards of the channel. Thank you all for waiting. I'm very, very sorry about that. Out of our control. Maybe if I paid my bill on time, it wouldn't have happened, but maybe that's not what happened. So I'm gonna go with that for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. It doesn't sound like it. You've been behind before, and I mean, they actually did shut that shit off. But I don't think if you guys, it would have already been shut off. I would imagine, like this morning.
Well, I kind of just like run behind on it just because I don't like to do it. It's not like, I can't do it. I just don't want to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just a hassle to call and press the buttons and listen to the lady. It's a horrible thing. We've all been there.
Oh.
Mercurio80 says, "Hey guys, tonight on the day of our Lord, Michael Myers, I became a Patreon."
Hey, all right.
Welcome, Mercurio. I'm gonna send you a message tomorrow.
Is it Mercurio or Mercutio? You've made worm's meat of me. Worm's meat.
I always
from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I never watched that movie. I hated it.
No, I'm just talking about from the play. Oh. Mercutio.
You cultural son of a gun, you. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you doing?
I've been doing fucking well. Yeah, it's been good. I got some. I got that retro game thing in. I got this. This is the second copy of this game. It's like 110 games in one. Fucking doesn't work. I got to send the bitch back again.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. It wasn't that expensive though. It was like fucking $18, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm just gonna get the refund back though.
Well, you get
because it just doesn't work. I know.
I'm gonna start sending people messages like that on eBay. If someone refunds something, well, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
I watched this true. I also watched this true crime thing about this woman that hired this hitman to kill her husband, and she's clearly on video doing it, and she's fucking stupid. And then when they like set up the whole crime scene to make it look like it had been carried out, but the hitman that she was hiring was actually an undercover cop, and dude, like it was like she goes to the crime scene, like she gets to her apartment, it's all like taped off, it looks like a murder happened, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And it was the worst fucking acting I've ever seen since 90210 the early years. And then they have her in the interrogation room, and then she's like, "Do they bring the hitman in?" He's like, "Does this guy look familiar to you?" And then she's like, "No, I've never seen him." And then the undercover cop was still pretending to be the hitman, and he leaves the room. And then the cop was like, "All right, I've had enough." He's like, "You're under arrest for solicitation of first-degree murder." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we have you on camera, and we have you on video doing it and hiring a hitman to kill your husband." She'd only been married to him for 6 months, by the way. And
get a divorce.
No, she wanted his money and they wanted him out of the picture, dead or alive. But then this is the best part. In her Twatzilla brain, she fucking tried to say in fucking court, dude, that she was trying to audition for a reality show. And that's what this all was. Like her husband and her ex-boyfriend were all trying to create a new reality series. And they're like, get the fuck out of here. But because they had released the video of the cops, her showing up and crying and all that stuff before the trial, so it went on YouTube and it got like 2 million views or whatever. Her lawyers, dude, what a bunch of dickbags these were. They appealed the decision, which was 20 years. She got 20 years, right? The lawyers appealed the decision and fucking won because they said that the jury might have seen the video that was already a big hit on YouTube before the trial, therefore causing them to already have preconceived notions of her innocence or not. Yeah. But she was clearly fucking guilty, so she went on house arrest for 3 to 4 years without serving any kind of substantial jail time, dude. She literally was going to kill her fucking husband, and it's on video. And then she finally went in there. She still used that bullshit. Like, I thought it was a reality show, bitch. And they were like, fuck. They were like, no, you get 12 years. But she got 12 years in prison.
Hey, I got to respect the ability to maneuver on the fly. You know what I mean? Like, in that moment when you're bold-face caught, like, obviously disgusting murder is a piece of shit, but when you're bold-face caught like that, to just come up with some shit off the top of your head that just leaves the door just open this much, I gotta respect that.
Dude, she was so fucking fucked, though. Like, they have literally a video of her talking not only to the hitman, but to her ex-boyfriend who supposedly knows the hitman who was working with the police officers. She's like, she tells the hitman, she's like, by the way, if you kill, he's going to go to the bank tomorrow morning and get $10,000 to go to a business meeting. So if you kill him in front of the bank, there'll be a little extra for you. You can keep the 10 grand and I'll continue to pay you the 5.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Wow. I'd have been like, no, we're doing a true crime podcast, and I was recording all that shit for my podcast. That's not real.
Well, dude, the investigative reporter on it was like, where is your production crew? Where are the other cameras? What the fuck are you smoking? Like, there's no way you were doing it. And then they brought the husband on stand. They were like, did you ever write a reality show script? Did you ever have any contacts with a reality show producer? Were you ever wanting to do a reality show? And he's like, no, fuck no. Like it was pretty odd. Like you tried to kill your husband. You made out with your own sister, stupidity level 101. And then you're trying to get your husband to like go in with this crazy fucking like fantasy world.
Where do I watch this? Because I want to see this.
It's on. You can go to True Crime Daily on YouTube, and it happened in 2016, I believe. It was a pretty big deal. It was a Florida woman, Dahlia Delipia, or something like that.
Dahlia,
some kind of shit.
The lip.
Yeah,
lip crochet.
Lipton ice death. But no, she apparently in 6 months, dude, not only had she got her claws into his bank, which he was worth about $200,000. So she had about $250,000. She'd also got him somehow, because I guess her pussy was on a fucking pedestal and clean as shit, to deed over his house to her name in 6 months of marriage. And then she said she wanted him out of the picture.
Holla, we not prenup. We not prenup. Yeah.
You find you can't go.
That's crazy, man.
Glenn said she's single. I would imagine so. You could get her all yours for $1.99 and a bar of soap where she's at. I guarantee you that bitch be riding your cock for 3 hours.
I read a post on Twitter. It's like crazy things that have happened, and some guy was talking about it. He was like, I started dating this girl, and like we are crazy about each other, and it's like the sex and everything is kind of scary. And he's like, I like it. I like how fucking intense she is. I'm enjoying this, but I'm starting to have second thoughts because the other night we smoked a joint and had sex, and while we were having sex, she told me that she came really close to lacing their joints with cyanide so that they could die together while having sex.
God damn, fuck that shit. How much fucking Marilyn Manson and goddamn Rob Zombie albums did she listen to?
Yeah.
That sounds like some fucking weird ass fucking death metal shit from Sweden.
Yeah, that guy, you finish and then you leave.
Yeah. Well, when you were telling the story, dude, like you went into the first person narrative. So I thought for a second you were talking about some kind of sexual experience that you've had recently. And I'm like, what? I was like, Katie's right there. It's like, if you want to talk about it off the air, we can.
She has her earbuds in and she usually can't hear me. But when I started telling that story, I looked over and I got the fucking death look. Like, what?
I know, because you were saying and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, I think you're like fucking, like you're doing like a Freudian slip. I think you want to tell me and confess your sins, but we can do it off camera.
She's already heard all my crazy sex stories. I don't know why I told her all of them, but I'm a share.
Yeah. Did you hear about that shit about Marilyn Manson though? Speaking of which.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, you know, got to tread carefully with these things, but that's a mess, dude. That's I don't know.
I had to look up. I'd heard the name Rachel Evan Wood before, but I had to look her up. I kind of don't even really know who she is, but I know she's an actress.
She's one of those actresses whose face always escapes the name for me too. I get that.
All I know about it is that she's saying that all this happened and that Rose McGowan, you know, in between her doing Sinead O'Connor cover songs, she's also supporting Rachel Evan Wood because she, you know, she's got her shaved head. She looked like Sinead O'Connor, but she said that it all is true. And I guess I can't. Yeah, she did date Marilyn Manson. I don't know. She said that the cult of Hollywood is not just focused on actors alone, that they all protect each other in their filth. So it's not just them, but the music industry as well. The weird thing is, and I don't know anything about the case. Like I haven't really poured into it with sweat dripping down my brow to figure it all out like Dick Tracy McCracy. But Marilyn Manson, I always thought that he was such a smart dude. Like you would think that he'd be smarter about, like, I don't know what he was doing than to get like fucked like this, or just to get himself caught like this. And he never, like he seemed like on the outside, like without, you know, being on stage, he just seemed like a normal fucking dude that cuts the grass, not even using a gas powered motor, but a push mower and some goddamn goofy ass pants.
Well, the thing about him though is that there's several. I actually, like the other day I went down a deep hole on the whole Marilyn Manson thing. I read all the accounts, I read everything he said, I read all this stuff, and for one, Marilyn Manson's actually been a douchebag for a really long time. Like there's many videos of him on YouTube, like public freak out kind of videos of him on stage, like kicking his bass player and throwing.
I saw that one.
Yeah, like doing just dumb shit. Like he's always been kind of an asshole. But there was actually an article in like Spin magazine, like from years ago, where he pretty much admits to like half of the shit that these women are saying he did. He's like, you know. I can't remember exactly what he said, but something about him fantasizing and jerking off to bludgeoning her head with a hammer, like something like that, something weird like that. But you know, at the same time, your mind does wonder. It's like, and it's not about them because I understand grooming and I understand all that shit. It's a real thing. Like it's a real thing. But at the same time, for me, I'm like, hey, all of you people canceling Marilyn Manson right now, all of his record label people, all of you people, you fucking knew. You already knew. Everybody knew since she made that thing in the court where she like explained that someone did all this horrible shit to her years ago. It was 99.9% fact it was Marilyn Manson anyway. She just finally said the name. All these people knew, and they still decided to put money in his pocket and still decided to do all this shit. I think that the conversation, and this is just my personal opinion on the whole thing, I think the conversation needs to go away from, oh yeah, let's all get together and cancel Marilyn Manson, which I don't feel bad for the fucking guy at all.
Well, you would say a mob mentality is what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is the smarter thing, like the better thing to do, on a tiny serious note, real quick, would be to start finding a way to educate young people, not just women, because crazy shit happens to dudes too, but educate young people on grooming and all this shit. Because one of those girls said the second time I met him, he gave me cocaine and made me shower in front of him naked. And I'm thinking, if that was my daughter, I'd be like, why the fuck would you do it? Why the fuck didn't you leave in the first fucking place? Why would you stay for 2 years after that? You know what I mean? Like, why?
If he gave her cocaine to shower in front of him so he could jerk off, that had to be the fastest shower of all time. She scrubbed quick.
One of the girls said that the first time she went to his house, he cut his hands and said, we're doing a blood pact now. And I'm like, and again, I want to be very clear. I understand.
I've seen The Sandlot.
I understand this is how there are predators out there, and this is how they work. They do shit like this. They use their fame and they use their stuff. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that instead of like, oh, let's cancel all this shit from all the people who already knew anyway, they're just trying to save face publicly. Why don't they put some money into like educating young people on how not to get groomed and how you don't need to make a blood pact with Marilyn Manson and let him ruin your life just so you can whatever they were looking for in that relationship.
Well, it's the same. It goes back to Harvey Weinstein. There was a lot of enablers for him as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if people act like they didn't know Harvey Weinstein was doing what he did behind the fucking darkness of the shadows, like you've got to be insane out of your fucking mind. And it wasn't just the ones that, like the big giant executive producers and all that stuff. The studio heads probably knew something. I love that a lot of other actors and actresses probably knew something, but they're like, you know, see not, want not, I don't want that. And they just walked away. And they're like, hey, if I'm still getting that fucking money situation in my pocket and I can go out and fucking buy my Lamborghinis and expensive Italian meals at Olive Garden, that's expensive to me, then fuck it.
And it's worth being said too that like while some of these accounts I'm sure are true, I'm sure some of these girls or some of these people are in a sense jumping on the bandwagon too, because they like there's people out there that dated him and liked all this kind of stuff and they were into it at the time, but now revisionist history, they want to go back and say it wasn't that way. It does work both ways. I understand that very clearly. Even though what he was doing was douchebaggery at its finest, if you have a consenting partner to it at the time, then you can't come back 10 years later and say, you know, but it's not black and white like people want to make it. It's gray.
I would imagine, you know, the grooming part of it is a possibility, but and I agree. I think that the weird and strange thing about it is, for me anyway, is that if that weird shit is happening, fucking famous or not, get the fuck out of Dakota. Like, I don't understand why in the fuck you hang around unless you're kind of into it. Or you know what, if you got to go through that, you get to touch daddy's coins, his gold coins a little bit and spend his money, or at least in some instances get famous from it. I don't know. I'm not saying I know her, and I'm not saying that was her motives, but you know, you think about those things. You're like, well, were you using him? I mean, he was using you for whatever, you know, he wanted, and then you were using him to get what you wanted. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like a common sense person would just be like, hey, you know what, I'm fucking good. Like, yeah. I'm good.
And you know, and that's why I say it's great. I mean, that, like, you or me today, as a 35-year-old man, if I was in a position like that, I would be like, yeah, I'm good. As a 20-year-old, I did some stupid shit, and I was influenced by really, really stupid things. So to say whatever people say about Marilyn Manson, it's absolutely true, and the guy should burn in hell, is wrong. At the same time, to say that he didn't use predatory things on these women, he didn't trick young people into thinking that some of this shit was normal, and he didn't threaten them with their, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the middle. I'm sure some people were doing it, went along with it because they liked it for fame, and I'm sure some people he actually mind fucked and really fucked up their lives. But either way, it doesn't sound like
well, the thing about Marilyn Manson's Marilyn Manson. Listen, I mean, if you're 18 or older and you're in a consenting adult and you enter into a relationship with another consenting adult and they're into some freaky deaky goddamn black magic in the wind kind of shit or whatever, or goddamn anal beads and chains hanging up in their sex dungeon, and you continue to stay with them afterwards, after they're gonna do all this shit with you, and then you come back and say, yeah, but it was heartbreaking for me, and I'm just not the same anymore. You know what? You've lost a lot of credibility in my eyes, because if you had said at the very beginning, like, if predatory is a different kind of thing. If predatory would mean that he was doing it without your consent, like, in a lot of ways, that would, in my opinion, a predator would do, like, that's without consent.
I see exactly what you're saying. I'm on pace. I see exactly what you're saying, but there is a different side to that. And the different side to that is someone acts like they're nice, which, by the way, some of the accounts were, like, he was super boyfriend, super in love with them the first time they met, did all these nice things for them, he gave them everything, was the nicest guy ever. And then the second that he had them, had pushed the rest of their family away, had got them in his bubble where they depended on him for money, depending on him for things, then he switches. And that's the predatory behavior I'm talking about. There's those cases too. And then all of a sudden the guy's raping you while you're sleeping, or he's cutting you and you're doing shit, and you've pushed away everybody in your life. And, like, this is a systematic breakdown. It goes both ways though. You know, we don't know.
There was a story about, I don't remember who it was that did some shit like that. They got with the girl. I'm not going to mention his name because he's on YouTube, so fuck him. But I think he's already got canceled. He's a big piece of shit. But he basically did the same thing with this girl. But this girl was 14 years old, and he did this over a span of years, grooming her.
That is black and white.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But he did this over a span of years, and what he did eventually was to get her to cut off her family and friends, make her move to where he lived, and basically just keep her in his world where he controlled who she talked to. He controlled the friends that she had and who she hung out with. So it was basically a slave. And I mean, but she was 14 years old. So, I mean, it's a totally different kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, in my opinion,
you're done.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
The other thing, somebody said she was only 17. And I was like, then she's underage. I mean, that's obvious. Like, that's illegal, but I don't know any of the details of it. I thought they were fucking around when she was 18, but whatever, man. It just goes to show you Hollywood is a goddamn basket of buttered weirdness that no one can escape from. Goddamn churning that weirdness out. I'm glad you know what? Kentucky may be boring as fuck, and we got some people out there in the backer fields. Yeah! But at least, like, You know what? That over in California, that's goddamn Willy Wonka fuck land. I'm glad that I'm kind of glad that we live here.
We'll bet some fucking weirdos here too, man. Hey, we just told a story the other night about a guy who tried to trick me into taking off my shirt and pretended I was getting fucking.
Well, that guy lived in California though.
To be fair, he did live in California.
Yeah, so I mean that just like you got a little fart bubble from California for that.
Hey, we did when we were kids have a guy that used to try to get us over and come party with him. So that's a different.
Yeah, story. I'm not saying that we're a perfect state. I mean, far from it, but you know, I'm not saying California is all full of weirdos, but I mean, it just seems like everything that's coming out lately is all from Hollywood weird shit.
Yeah. No, that's where the famous people live. That's all you're gonna know about. Gypsy Warrior says rumor has that Justice League 2 and 3 will be made back to back if the Snyder Cut does well. I heard there's also going to be an 8-episode Batfleck show. I want to get my news from wherever the fuck Gypsy Warrior's getting his news because that all sounds wonderful.
Well, Mike, obviously they're getting it off the hot sheets. We got this covered at anything tabloid. We just got done watching Men in Black, and that's we agreed that we're gonna call. We got this covered. Anything that comes out of them is the hot sheets.
Oh yeah, it's the hot sheets. Hey, will you just keep your mic back just a touch? When you get animated, you're like, "Whopper the onion."
I get fucking into it, man. I feel like a preacher, and I got the masses, and the Holy Spirit just goes right up my butt. I was like, I gotta spread the word, y'all.
For the podcast listeners, blood's. I would just say blood red skies, and I said blood spreads cheeks. Blood spreads cheeks. Thanks, buddy. He says, Spectrum shut off my Wi-Fi all the time. Yeah, I think they just do it. I think hey, we're not supposed to shut up for 2 weeks, but here's just a little, just to let you know. Fuck you. I'm going to turn it off for 10 minutes.
I don't think the internet's ever been shut off here. Like, I don't think it's ever actually. I just have really shitty internet, so I mean, I guess there's that. Like, I'm still using the America Online demo that they gave back in 1997.
Jonathan Mann says, "Sup guys, playing Twisted Metal on my PS1 and listening to y'all at the same time. Man, you're having a good night. I appreciate your night that you're having over there." By the way, have y'all seen VHS? That first story fucked me up. LOL. Yeah, we reviewed VHS, man. Was the first story the I like you?
No, that one made me pass out. Like, I legit passed out from a horror movie, dude. I didn't think I'd ever. I mean, I never fainted or passed out in my life, but yeah, that I like you. The sirens. I think it was the third story. Might have been the second story. We were watching it on the computer screen, dude. We were really close to the monitor, and I don't think I'd slept that well that night or something. And we were drinking early in the morning, and it was just there was a combination. And when that bitch went, I like it, and her fucking face split open like a goddamn tuna salad ready to devour you or some shit. I was like, I went to the bathroom and I could see it, dude. Everything went tunnel vision. I could hear my heart going, boom, boom. Boom, boom, in my ears, and dude, I fell down. I was going to my bedroom and I crawled and I laid in the bed. And Mike was like, "Dude, are you gonna watch the rest of the movie or what?" And I was like,
"We gotta watch, dude. We got 12 subscribers. We gotta please."
Yeah, he was like all mad and shit. I was like, "Dude, you might have to call the ambulance." Dude, I don't know. He's like, "Seriously, do you want me to call the ambulance?" I was like, "No, just give me a minute."
Big Papa.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Big Papa Queef Man. Shit, you not. That's this guy's name. Big Papa Queef Man. Says, "Hi, Mike and Jay. Can I get a Slender Man shout out to my wife, Nala? She needs some Subway with Manscaped because it looks like I don't Wait, let me go back. Let me do this. Can I get a Slender Man shout out to my wife, Nala? She needs some Subway with Manscaped because it looks like Don't King's gonna pop out and say, only in America, haha, I'm gay, love y'all." I need a fucking decoder.
I don't know. I have to go back. I literally had to switch out microphones because that motherfucker kept like going in and out. I would use that Bluetooth one.
Oh, okay. I'll read it to you again because I'm still not sure what it means.
Okay.
But I gotta love your name. Big Papa Queef Man is his name.
I like it.
He says, "Hi, Mike and Jay. Can I get a Slender Man shout out to my wife, Nala? She needs some Subway with Manscaped because it looks like Don't King's gonna pop out and say, only in America, haha, I'm gay, love y'all." I don't know, one word fucked up that whole thing you were trying to go for, but I'm trying to break it through.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not sure what you're saying. I thought maybe you might have smoked some of the devil lettuce before you wrote that comment, but not you should have yourself a Subway sandwich and then have some manscape, Miguel, or have your husband do some manscaping while you eat a Subway sandwich. Maybe that will help him do the correct grooming around his testicles that he so desperately did. Because apparently, only in America. That's what me think. I don't know, Noda. By the way, like you name Noda, you're from the Lion King as well. So me don't know why you cheating on Simba, so, but we will let this one slide.
Why is everybody saying bless you, Mike? What did I miss? Did you say something?
Did you sneeze? No.
Oh, I did fucking sneeze earlier. That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, I always think of that Dane Cook joke when someone says bless you. He's like, I don't do that. I'm not the Lord. I'm like, God bless you. I mean, cover your fucking mouth is what I'm basically saying.
Oh, fuck. Guys, we got a good show for you tonight, now that we've gotten into it a little bit. We got a great show. It's going to be a fun time in the butt cracks of Niagara Falls. That's Niagara Falls, said differently. Like it's fancy, like me. But no, we've got movie news to talk about. There's a little bit of Halloween Kills, just a little bit, but enough to squish. And squish. And we got... We're going to review a movie called The Burbs for a special Patreon member later. And then I hope you guys have seen that because it's fucking wild. And we got some crazy movie news involving Wayne's World. Zack Snyder. Let's start with that. Because, dude, okay. Zack Snyder laid the smackdown. No, why? Does you smell
people are saying you sharted. Did you fart?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You guys know if I fart, I'll put the mic up to it.
I was gonna say you shouldn't like move around like this. He's a little squishy, wishy.
Let me see here. Edward Santiago says Mason for Willy Wonka. Hello, Wham fam. Hey guys, what's up?
Hello. How you doing? Well? Hope so.
Latrell 316 says it's Marilyn Manson. That's kind of sometimes all you need to say when it comes to certain things like that. I know what you're saying. I
don't know who's Marilyn Manson. What's he saying?
I think it's just back to that because I'm a little bit.
No, I know what he was talking about.
Yeah, it's fucking Marilyn Manson, guys. What did you expect?
Yeah. Somebody was like, "Hey, Marilyn Manson set his nipple on fire and then fucked a dog in the ass." It was crazy. Like, this Marilyn Manson. Was it at his show? Yeah, it's normal.
Gypsy Warrior says, gotta know what Bane and Slender Man think of Manson.
I was once in the Dope Show music video. My part got cut. But I'll say this. Marilyn was a gentle lover to me. But I'm somewhat of a scoundrel in the night. Because I was molded by it, you know.
That's so nasty that you had anything to do with that man. That man looked like he smelled like the inside of the plunger after you do it with the turds in the toilet. He didn't look like that. He looked like a pogo stick of plunger. But don't like it at all. Marilyn Manson, he make good music, but you shouldn't do that with young ladies. You should take them out and give them some treats or something like that. Take them to the movie and then give them a rose every single day, Marilyn Manson. And first off, why you name yourself after Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson? It's like a weird, you like yin and yang. We don't trust you now, Marilyn Manson. We like your music, but you do nasty things in the bedroom. You should not do that. Why you do that for? Anyway, Marilyn Manson, you go about your day fine. We still might buy you album, but you should be ashamed of yourself.
When someone puts something sharp up my butthole, I say, the fire rises. That's what I say when I want, that's my safe word, actually, but it sounds like I want you to keep going. But basically, my asshole is Stargate at this point because I've been with so many women who like the darkness.
That's nasty. If you butthole look like that, you need to make an appointment with doctor. That sounds bad. If you poop, it's not even gonna poop anymore. It's just gonna fall out your butthole when you walking around. You're gonna look like a chocolate chip cookie, leaving him chocolate drops as he walks away.
Oh shit. Okay, so anyways, talking about the Snyder Cut. Dude, this is fuck. I love this. I love this story so goddamn much that it makes me pee-pee go woo.
Yeah, the pee-pee hole itself going woo 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 woo. Yeah, it was savage, man. Zack Snyder got on that.
Oh, I love it. Wait do you guys hear this? This is fucking beautiful. All right, so start the news portion of the evening. Let me go to my handy dandy notebook here. Oh, that's the Burbs IMDb because I'm going to pretend I know what I'm talking about. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here's what I actually wanted to say. Zack Snyder, as you all know, the Snyder Cut has been a source of hibagery for so many people. Everybody's been fighting about it. There are certain media personalities I'll turn this off while I explain this. There are certain media personalities out there that just want, like, just for some, I don't know why. I don't know because they love Disney too much, they love Marvel too much. What? That always shit on DC projects. That really fucking hate Zack Snyder. That even when one of his children passed away, continued to shit on him and say, "Yay, Josh Whedon," and not even be like, "Hey, that sucks that happened to Zack." You know what I mean? So many people out there in the media have been shitty to him, and there's people that aren't just shitty to him, but there's certain media personalities that were so mad. And when fans came out and they said, "Hey, we want a Snyder cut. We want to see Zack Snyder's movie that he made. Now that he's back, let's get that going." The people who pushed that movement forward, there were some media personalities that came out and they said, "You all are stupid. You all are insignificant. I am a media personality, and I know that the Snyder cut will never happen, and you all are just a bunch of idiot assholes from some Southwest Texas, and you can suck my white ass ball."
Yeah, Zack Snyder, man, he's been through it. These fucking, the media really makes me goddamn sick to my stomach. Like, I really just want to vomit, like, goddamn Reagan pea soup vomit from my mouth when I hear about him. Because, I mean, you know what? He nails it as far as saying, and that's 99%. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all. And he wants to do a face-to-face because these pussy keyboard warriors that get behind there and write articles all day long and say, "This is the facts that I know." They have no. That Zack Snyder said this 3 years ago. Jesus Christ. Why don't you just go and ride the Marvel train all the way to the station? Because Zack Snyder made 300 and that was it. And even then it was barely clothed men with muscles rippling in the sun. And it kind of made me feel weird. And I don't want to confront those feelings right now. Fuck Zack Snyder.
Basically, that's what happened. So, and you all, I think that most of the people here know the crazy shit that's going on with the Snyder Cut. And look, if you don't like Zack Snyder's movies, that's one thing. I'm not talking about anybody that doesn't like Zack Snyder's thing because he has a specific thing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the media personalities specifically that came out and shit on the fans just because they wanted to see something. And they talked down to him and they said, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I have a fucking podcast, so I'm better than all of you. Or I work at fucking Variety or whoever it is, fucking whatever station it is." Shit on him. Well, Zack Snyder finally just let a little fucking fart out of his anger. And this is what it said. And I love it so much in my heart. He says, "I just think that's sour grapes. There's really no other way to say it. We know the people who were the architects of that narrative, and it's pretty obvious what their agenda is. Those are people that I've held back from confronting by wiser people in the room. Because I'd love to get at some of these characters and fucking stick my dick in their mouth." No, he didn't say that part. He said some direct conversation would be nice, just to say, one, you don't know shit about what you're talking about, and we can break down everything they've ever said. I can make a list. There's a few of these guys where I could just get a list of everything they've ever said that they thought was right, and I could tell them every single thing they've said is wrong. And he continued. And so, in what world do you have any credibility anywhere to anyone? I would love the opportunity to just say to the world and to fandom in general who these fakers are. I said fuckers. Fakers are, and what should be done to them or with them. It's just a bunch of bullshit. In regards to that toxic fandom, or it's a win for toxic fandom, speaking about the Snyder Cut, again, in what world does this toxic fandom raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for suicide prevention? How is that toxic fandom? They've probably achieved more than any other fan base and done more good than any other group, so I don't understand. You tell them, Zack Snyder.
This is like Zack Snyder coming down the ramp at any kind of wrestling event and goddamn like stone cold stunning some motherfucker in the ring. This is exactly what he did. And you know what? I like this because this is the same assholes, the same, like, never had a woman in my life bitches that write these articles and report shit like this, that also go after the true Star Wars fans and call them a toxic community because they want what George Lucas promised them and the same universe that they've wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. And, you know, that's what Zack Snyder wanted to do. He was like, you know what? You know when Superman, like, comes back from the grave and he's standing up there and he's, like, hovering over these little insect people? He wants to fucking, like, slam it down. Like, he wants to fucking hit these motherfuckers straight in the face. That's really what he talks about face to face. He's like, I'll fucking goddamn Spartan kick them off the roof of their bullshit logic. Yeah,
dude, he made that scene.
Yeah, I know.
300.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I mentioned.
I know you know.
But
I know you know.
I mentioned it earlier. But yeah, so yeah, Zack Snyder, dude, like he's a great guy. I love him a lot. He really loves his fans, and you could tell he's also defending his fan base because the fans they call toxic are the ones that have kept alive the idea of what a real DC universe, like that's different from Marvel. You go to Man of Steel, you go to BVS. Yes, there's problems with it. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. They just wanted to see what Zack Snyder would have done with the Justice League movie, and they're going to get that. And no, you're not rewarding toxic fans, you stupid bitch. You're fucking giving fans what they want. The ones that fucking keep the business in business, you're giving them what they want. Wow, what a weird strategy for a business. I don't know. The customers get what they want and we get more money. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's just a strange thing that happens in the world.
Who could have imagined?
Fucking tool back from Binford.
And I just want to reiterate one more time. If you don't like Zack Snyder and you think his movies suck balls, like go to moviepoopshoot.com and just be like, Zack Snyder's a shit fuck director and I hate all of his movies. That's fine. I'm not, and he's a divisive director. I get it. We disagree with it. We love Zack Snyder's films, but I'm talking about the people. It's just like kind of like politics. The people who are supposed to be neutral and who are supposed to just report the news instead are going, what? Wait. You fans, you little fans are getting too loud for me now, and I'm going to put you back in your place. And then Zack Snyder came back, and those fans came back, and they said, shut the fuck up. Get that corn out of my face. And they made the Snyder Cut happen. And here we sit today. We're about to get a 4-hour cut of the of Zack Snyder's Justice League because of what those fans did, and they raised all that money. Now, granted, in any group, there's going to be a couple of people who went out on their own fucking vigilante side missions and did some dumb shit. I'm sure there's people in the Snyder Cut movement who went out and said some awful, horrible things, and I'm sure there's some people in any movement ever that are awful, horrible people. But overall, as a thing, had that movement to raise all that money for national suicide awareness been about any other movie, or been from Marvel, or been from ran by Chris Evans, which I love, from Captain America, it would have been paraded throughout the goddamn streets. But because it's about a Zack Snyder movie, a toxic fandom gets its way. Fuck off.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm glad that Zack Snyder is finally putting his foot down, and I wish more directors, more producers, more actors would do this. Like when they're called out by these, I wish he had name dropped, because I know he wanted to. I know he really wanted to. He's like, I really want to just single you out, the fucking assholes that said this shit about me or said this about the top, and I want you to come and have an interview with me straight up, face to face, and let me interview you for a change, because I bet your wiener's not as big as that. I know it's not, because I know you have a small one, because I can smell the fucking desperation in your fucking writing, that you have such a micro penis that you write lies about me and you write lies about my fans. But it is what it is, man. Like the media, the 2020 media, or really the last fucking 10 years media, are just they're the toxic ones. They're the ones that sow the lines of division between fans, between people. It's the fucking media. They're the ones that say this needs to continue on, I'm going to write it and slant it this way, or I'm going to report on it on the TV this way and slant it this way. It's all bullshit, dude.
And let me say both ways. Because 90% when you say media, your brain goes straight to politics. Both sides do it. I think that's where, with movies, it's like I can do what I want to. I can, it's like not that.
But they just hate Zack Snyder for no reason, though.
Yeah, I think it's because a bunch of them like grandstanded over top of fans and said, "You're not getting this. You're stupid because you think you don't know how I love this line from anybody." A guy plays an extra on the set of fucking X-Files for 2 days, and he comes out and goes, "I'm in the movie industry. I know how it works. You don't just skippity-doo-dah a fucking Snyder cut of a movie." You know what I mean? Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, it's 2020. Possibilities are endless. We have the internet. Fans have a loud voice. They can 23 skidoo anything they fucking want to skidoo. Okay.
I never understand why was anybody concerned about it. The Zack Snyder cut is a cool thing, and like it's mentioned, raised $500,000 for suicide prevention.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good thing. Like, I don't know why anybody would go out of their way to write an article in a magazine disparaging the fan group and calling them toxic, and this is a horrible thing, and we should not reward these kind of fans. Well, you know what? You will never be rewarded with sex in your life, Mr. Anonymous author of said article, because I'll bet you nobody would touch that pimply dick. But you know what? It's not like he, and like you mentioned it. Yeah. Inside any fandom, whether it be Star Wars, whether it be Marvel, whether it be DC, whether it be Snyder itself, there's going to be a few rotten apples. That's absolutely 100% right. Yeah. But that does not mean that the entire fucking fandom is toxic. They just want a vision of a director that they really liked, and they want to see how that unfolds, because they were disappointed in said product with Joss Whedon, meaning the Justice League, and they want a fucking refund on that. in Zack Snyder. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And why the fuck? The fans are the ones that make you money. They are the ones that keep you in business. So why wouldn't you reward them?
And I think it hit a peak when I don't know the guy's name. I don't care. The guy's a big dude at one of the big companies, like the head dude at one of the big companies that do exactly what we do. They just have a bigger name, so it looks fancier.
Probably a bigger dick too.
Probably. On a news story about Zack Snyder opening up about his child losing their life to suicide. And him talking about it. I don't remember the exact headline, so I don't want to not quote it the right way, but posted a GIF of Ryan Gosling laughing, like that GIF of where Ryan Gosling's like,
oh yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, man! You can't even see that this is a human being who, while trying to make this movie, lost the child and had to walk away from the movie to be with his family in the middle of that. Like, you can't even stop and envision this person as a human being and how do you not root for somebody like just because you wanted Joss Whedon's, because you want fucking Disney, a company that doesn't give a fuck if you fucking live or die, to win out in the fucking battle over DC. A human being lost their child. They had to leave a movie. The movie came out and it was wrecked and it was fucked all up. And now he gets a chance to come back and he got a chance to come back and I don't want to say redeem himself because he didn't do anything wrong, but he got a chance to come back and he fought through all that, came back, went back to work for the fans, put the movie together, and has finally finished this vision that he was working on when tragedy befell upon his life. And you're going to look at that and you're going to have a snide fucking comment. You don't have to love the movie. You don't have to say you think it's going to be good, but come out and fucking say, hey, I don't like this guy's art, but I respect what he fucking did. And I'm so sorry for what he went through. It's pretty fucking awesome what he's doing today. For all these people who are supposed to be so fucking kind and aware and woke, they don't know fucking the first goddamn thing about what it's like to be a nice human being.
Well, that's because the woke culture is, if you don't agree with me, fuck you, and I'm going to shut you down. That's what woke culture is. But that's not the point. The point is, in any kind of reporting nowadays, it's undignified. There is no more dignity at all when they report. They're like hyenas that roam the fucking Sahara Desert looking for the goddamn leftover bodies so they can scavenge on it. That's what they do. Or somebody that's down on their luck, or that's what they meant. Like, if you and I disagreed with a director or a writer or a production team or whatever it is, I would never go after them personally and their family. I would never say a fucking word if they had something like a tragic event happen, which Zack Snyder suffered through, and then make light of it as if it was something to, we can share this in the public space and poke fun at it kind of situation, because that means that you are literally a skank of a human being, and you shouldn't even be like sharing the fucking same breath as a lot of us because you're a piece of shit. I don't have any respect for motherfuckers like that at all, and they should be taken out in the middle of the fucking street and caned and put on public display for the piece of shit they are. Because again, they're going to hide behind their keyboard. They're going to think that they're edgelords. That's what they do. They think they're edgelords. I'm being edgy, bro. And bro, I can say this and whatever. Bro, I will put a fucking goddamn yardstick up your butthole and fucking call that edge. I hate fuckers like that. But dude, Zack Snyder is the comeback king. I love his story, and I wouldn't be shocked one day. And I know they're doing the book, because I know that article I had mentioned a book, the released the Snyder Cut book that the guy was doing about the Zack Snyder situation. But I wouldn't be surprised one day them having a documentary or something like that detailing the Snyder adventure to get this movie made, because it really was. And he's even gone on record and said that if it's not for the fans, it doesn't exist. Yeah. This thing would never have happened. And that just goes to show you how much people love him and they wanted his vision seen on the big screen, or at least seen in homes, and how appreciative he is. And I'm sure it means a lot to him too, coming back from a tragedy that he suffered, being able to get back on there and people being still supportive of him. But you have little small penis guys out there that fucking write articles like that. And they do it for clout. They do it for clout. They do it for any kind of attention they can get. And the more shocking the article by using the headline like that, the more they're going to get clicks. So I fucking hate people.
And I think it's more from pats on the back from their buddies who are in the same industry that they're in. Like, fucking stupid little fans. Fuck them. Let's shit all over Zack Snyder. Like, without even thinking a second about, hey, that's a human being over there who, is going through it.
It wasn't a reporter, but remember the Star Wars Theory guy. They made fun of him one of the guys over at Lucasfilms because he cried when Luke Skywalker popped up in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And this guy was a piece of shit. He was a big fucking turd in the toilet that wouldn't flush. And then it got so bad because, again, you make fun of Star Wars Theory, who has like almost 2 million subscribers. It's a bigger fucking fish. You can't bite down on it and ignore. He had to come out and apologize. It was a half-assed apology. But these are the people that say the fans are the ones that ruin the fans are the ones that made it and kept it alive. Like, I don't understand what the fuck. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation about the Star Wars, fans and shit. But
precisely, my friend. Oh, God damn, Brittany Bush. What the? She always just pops out of there. Out of the darkness you come, and you throw fucking amazing shit. Thank you so much, Brittany. She says, hey, guys, you know how I always drop in when I can. Rover Neri is starting his interviewing for the Houston Police Academy tomorrow. Shit. Love you guys and always support y'all when I can. Thank you so much, Brittany. And we hope Rover Neri gets that shit.
Yeah. By the way, you got to tell him he's got to watch at least 2 movies of the Police Academy films, and he'll be right as rain. And hopefully he gets a Mahoney or a Jones or something as his roommate. That's going to be fucking key. By the way,
watch
Nick
all the cop movies with him. Lethal Weapon, all of it. You got to let him know.
Jay, you keep making fun of guys with micro penis. That hurts, You don't have one, Nick. Jesus Christ. If it was any bigger, we'd have to have a telescope from fucking NASA just to encompass it all. It's huge. Stop, Nick.
But yeah,
Brittany, I don't know that personally, but I'm just assuming you have a big wiener. Don't worry.
Brittany, you got to show him all the cop movies. That is just going to put him in the mood. Every night he comes home from the academy, he's having a hard night. Maybe things didn't go that well. Maybe he didn't do so well on a test. Maybe he tripped climbing one of the walls or got maced in the face. I don't know what happens at those things, but you go, hey, I know you're in a bad mood. I'm going to make you a fucking cheeseburger, or you're going to make me a cheeseburger. We're going to order some cheeseburgers. I don't know who had the cheeseburgers, but what we're going to do is we're going to watch a cop movie, and it's going to make you feel fucking awesome when you walk into work tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Police Academy. I'm telling you, it's going to get him through the day.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's a great fucking place to start. Definitely don't watch End of Watch. That's going to scare you. Don't watch it. Okay?
Eric Scott Lyons says, Tackleberry guy. Lol. Yeah, Tackleberry's great, man. I fucking love Tackleberry. And goddamn Bobcat Goldthwait is in the 3rd one. Where do you put the batteries? He's in the second one too. His little song I wrote off our first album. It goes a little something like this. When I was in my fucking I like when the guy with the glass, he's like, sir, do you think this is gonna work? Mr. Zed, sir. He's like, well, what are you talking about? It's working. When they gave the dogs like the fucking flashlights to act like they were searching the grounds for cigarette butts.
Nick says, my wife doesn't think so. Nick, you gotta trust me, man. You gotta work the tongue, my friend. Just work the tongue. You'll be fine.
Get down on that
micro penis or no, just work the tongue. And I'm saying is, by work the tongue, I mean you tell her, hey, you pretend this is big. That's what I mean. I
thought you meant going down, baby. No street in a ranger to the street sweeper, baby. Cock ready to let it go. Shimmy, cocoa, pussy, what? Sometimes you gotta give your woman something. But yeah, dude. We got 4 minutes till, and I gotta pee real goddamn bad.
All right, so we'll take our first break of the eve, and we'll be right back. We'll put up a video for you guys to listen to. Everybody hang out with us because we got Halloween Kills to talk about. We got another Snyder story to talk about. It's not Snyder. We're done ranting and raving for the evening, I promise. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about Joker, that Joker picture that came out. We're going to talk about...
You don't want no beef? You don't want no beef?
No beef. We're going to talk about John Carpenter's opinion on Halloween Kills, and we're going to talk about other stuff. We're going to review the Burbs. It's going to be a good time. By the way,
really quick interject here. Holy shit, man. We got 353 sexual beings in the fucking house right now, ready to party and eat Twizzlers with us. And I appreciate that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I just looked over and I thought for a second it was like 153. Holy fuck. That's badass.
Yeah. And just remember this before we go to break. Like I said, just remember, just work the tongue, get her off that way. And then it doesn't matter what you're doing after that. It's all going to be gravy.
That's so weird. It was such a weird segue into that because I was talking about that. You're like, maybe to work the tongue. I'm like, what?
I saw Nick's comment and I wanted to help.
That's okay. All. Well, we will be back soon, child.
Back, guys. Work the tongue. Work the tongue while we're gone. Well, there's a gore scene in that reminds me of a few scenes in this, and there's a scene in Brightburn, the gore there.
Oh yeah, that one. That one. I was like, how you died, sir?
And they show it, dude. They don't shy away from it.
I know.
Shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
We got a treat for you tonight, little backwoods leg chewing treat.
Y'all want to go hiking with us? Y'all want to go hiking with us and hunt some elk and drink some natural light, bitch? Woo-wee!
Yeah! We don't like no strange boys and girls, hipster people walking around in our fucking woods, man. That's my living room. That's where, hey, you just came through the woods. I was molded by it. You know what I'm saying?
I came up from the goddamn ground itself. Ain't nothing but soul and toll in my veins. Thank you very much. You better get out my fucking neighborhood if you ain't gonna be about the land.
I can smell your juices.
Look, man, when I wake up in the morning, I have nothing to drink but Valvoline straight up fucking oil. I drink that shit.
Get it in
you too. It
You
burned
need
me
to.
a little bit. You gotta be careful. You smoke that.
Hey, that'll make you a man, Bubby.
Dude, that's how I roll my cigarettes.
I called you Bubby. Oh, shit. All right, we're done with that now. I was unaware that the shooter were fighters.
Well, you can't help it, man. This movie gets you in that mode.
Yeah, it does. It does. So the reboot of Wrong Turn by Mike Nelson, the director of The Domestics, and written by Alan McElroy, if I'm saying that name wrong, who wrote fucking Halloween 4, dude. The writer of Halloween 4 wrote this.
Well, no wonder this movie was a blast in the pants. I loved it.
It was. I loved it too, dude. I think it's going to be we were talking about this before, but I think some people are not going to like it, and we'll get into why. But as a movie, I thought it was fucking fantastic, man. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, the pacing was great. The scares were good. The story was actually really good. I really did dig the story, and the directions and the way that they shot it looked good. And you know, not just that, the cast was likable. I liked all the cast, even the even the grungy. I hang down there by the gas station. I don't like fucking nobody. I like that guy. I liked them all. Like I really did. Even though there was a few though, I was like, damn, man. Like, I mean, I know they're bad guys technically and they're hillbillies, but they look like some fucking neighbors of mine in Kentucky.
you see that shit at Applebee's, Walmart every week, man.
Hey, man, on Saturday night, if you go down to a place called Clark's Pumpkin Shop, like in my town, they hang out by the dozens.
And we're not making fun of Kentuckians necessarily here. We're just saying that the people in this movie are way more realistic by far than the people in the other Wrong Turn movies. And here's the reason I say that some people aren't going to like it is because it's not like the other Wrong Turn films. I think I'd say there's a gigantic starting portion of the film that does the Wrong Turn thing, and fans are going to love that. And I actually dare to say that they do the Wrong Turn thing better than 90% of the other Wrong Turn films do. The parts that where they're lost in the woods and weird shit's happening are actually fucking lots of jump moments, and not just dumb jump scares, but really creepy shit that'll shake you out of your goddamn soul a few times, man. Like this movie fucking had me jump out of my chair 3 or 4 times in the first half of it.
Your panties might get full. There's no doubt about that when you watch it in the dark. But here's the thing. See, it's weird. I got a little startled now and again, but I didn't get like that bad scared of it as I thought I would. What I enjoyed the most was, for me, while I watched it, like, I know it's going to be listed as a horror movie, and I mean, for good reason, but in the way I watched, in the way I viewed it, in the way that I saw the movie, I just felt like it was more of a survival, like suspense thriller type of a movie with a little action and a little horrific images or moments in it, rather than an actual straight up horror movie in regards to like just a booger monster around the corner going, blah, 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 or anything like that. Like that didn't happen. Like it was a really solid, like 7 or something with mixes of like more horror in it.
It's definitely more serious thriller than it is schlocky slasher cannibal horror film.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about
it. Also, it's really smart because I think, I don't know, this is just my opinion on it, but I do think that there's a moment in it where it kind of flips the moral compass a little bit, because you go in thinking one thing, right? And then when it gets to the middle of the movie, just about, you're like, wait a minute. I see what you've done here, sir. You've made me think twice about what my initial judgment was. Because that's really what it's almost like, don't judge a book by its cover until you know all the facts.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being preached at by Judge Judy. I was like, I get it.
Handsome Richard is what I call that guy, by the way. Every time he showed his face, I was like, I'm Handsome Richard. I can't say who I'm talking about.
That guy looks like he could be like the main guy here. Yeah, one of the main guys. He looks like he could be in Old Spice commercials. Like he could take over for Terry Crews.
Goddamn right, dude. Or like the most interesting man in the world from the Dos Equis commercials.
Yeah,
we can't talk about who he is because it's kind of a spoiler. But yeah, there's a speech midway through the film, and you're like, this shit's kind of smart. I kind of see what you're doing here. I see what you're getting at, you fuckaroo. But yeah, dude, I enjoy the shit out of the movie. Like I said, and you're right. It's far more suspense than it is horror. But where the horror does shine is there's gore. There's well done fucking gore.
Really, really good gore.
There's some scenes that reminded me of the type of gore you saw in Midsommar. Stuff like that. There's a scene in Brightburn that reminds.
I haven't seen that. Is it a movie that came out in the midsummer? What's that?
It did. Midsummer, actually, I believe it did come out.
No,
yes.
I still haven't watched it yet.
Well, there's a gore scene in that reminds me of a few scenes in this, and there's a scene in Brightburn, the gore there.
Oh yeah, that one. That one. I was like, how you died, sir?
And they show it, dude. They don't shy away from it.
I know.
They get in there real nice.
Yeah, that's like watching a crime scene documentary, and they actually show the fucking body. You're like, what'd you do that for? I thought they were gonna be all reenactments, bro.
Get that out of my face.
Oh man, but yeah, you're right. Like the gore is really, really well done, and it's not like put in for just like shits and giggles. It's not just like, oh, we're just gonna throw buckets of blood for no reason whatsoever. No.
They pick and choose. They pick and choose their spots, man. They hit you with it at the right spots, and it's entertaining. It's definitely a film that has 3 acts. There's no doubt about it. I honestly thought the film was going to end at one point, and then I was like, fuck, there's 30 minutes left. And that's not because it wasn't entertaining. That was just because I thought we did it, and we didn't. We had so much to go through, and the movie's ballsy, and the twists and the turns that it takes, it goes all over the place. Like I said, the only way you're going to be disappointed with this movie, I feel like, is if you really wanted another Wrong Turn sequel. I'm not sure after watching a couple of those why you would want one. That's just us. We watched them all in one goddamn day. I'll put the video down below.
It's a dark night.
Yeah, we watched all 5 Wrong Turn movies.
No, it was 6.
It was 6. Yeah. That's weird. I don't remember the 6 one, but we watched all
lost in the dark.
Yeah, dude. We watched them all in one day on a show called BURBS Movie. All the commentaries for that are back on our Patreon, by the way, and then I'll put the link to those below. But yeah, we didn't. At the end of that, we were like, please God, don't ever make another Wrong Turn movie. Please stop.
Yeah, I was so unenthusiastic when someone was like, did you hear they're making another Wrong Turn movie? I was like, hey, did you hear that? I don't give a shit. It was like, but it's not against, like, nothing against the Wrong Turn purists. I know there's a lot of people that love the Wrong Turn series for whatever reason. That's fine. I'm just saying, for me, like Mike said, we went through a brutal watching of all those movies in a row, and it really it slapped the flavor right out my mouth like I was a hoe and I owed money to a pimp. Like, it was slapped right out. And it's so, I mean, but this was surprising, which you go into and you're like, you saw the trailer, it looked really good. So at least it was promising. And then you watch it and you're like, holy shit. And for me, again, and you've already touched on this, I know it's a Wrong Turn movie, but it almost, like, and I get why it's a Wrong Turn, but it's not really a Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. And I'm glad they did it. So
yeah, I'm glad they did it too. And again, I don't want to say exactly when or how long it lasts, because I really want everybody to experience it for themselves. But hi, Heathen. Hey, you got a hat on. Did you have a hat on a second ago? I know you can hear me. I can see it in your face that you can hear me, you fucking liar. I know you can hear me.
No, I know. Yeah. No, I didn't. I just put it on.
Oh.
Yeah, I did not put on the hat.
Taylor Swift, look what you made me do. Holy crap. What happened?
Glenn says, hey, I was watching that, bitch. Turn it back on.
Hey, by the way, which break did I put up? Was that the Wrong Turn review?
No, I don't know what it was. I saw for a second. It was, I don't know. I just had Matthew Lillard said, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I got good news. I got great news.
What happened? What happened?
I can't say who it is because we're not 100% sure on it yet. About 75% sure that it's going to be next Wednesday night. We're going to have a really special guest on that we're really fucking super pumped about, that you guys are going to really love to talk to. It's going to be awesome. It was the Wrong Turn review. Okay. Someone that has something to do with that. And then the week after that, it's probably, again, about 80% sure on this one, that we're going to have the director of the new Wrong Turn movie, Mike P. Nelson, on the show for an interview.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait for the awkward interviews to begin once again. It's going to be fun as shit.
I'm excited, me pantaloons.
Bring your party hats. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. So Mike P. Nelson, we know we're going to get him on the show for sure at some point, but the plan is right now, not next Wednesday, but the week after that. But then next week, Wednesday, we also have somebody that has something to do with that movie and something to do with a whole lot of other movies that you guys are going to want to hear about. We'll have an announcement of that very soon. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
I love
it. Anyways, all right. Oh, it's next Wednesday's Tito Sanchito's birthday. It's going to be a
Hey,
good time,
all right.
Tito.
Happy early birthday to you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go down and get you some Tito's and have a great goddamn birthday.
Big Papa Queef Man has popped back into the chat. He says, I'll queef this damn bus around that'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick. How would y'all feel if Myers died and had a tombstone but came back as a zombie similar to Jason, undead Michael Myers? I don't 100% hate it if it happens 20 years from now after we've exhausted all normal Myers movies possibilities.
I don't want it. I just don't want it. I don't want him to copy Jason at all. Like the whole idea of Michael Myers and Halloween is to keep it separate from Friday the 13th. Making him a zombie Michael kind of guy would be literally the identical plot of Friday the 13th part 4 or part 6? He's a zombie. Like it's don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you put your foot on the gas on that one.
You're right. I the way I feel about anything Michael Myers is once we've extended all possibilities of taking it really seriously, because you can still do that with Michael. But when the fever pitch of the original, regular Myers that we know and love is gone, I don't want movies to go away. So I'm up for some weird ass fucking ideas like Michael versus Jason, all that shit at that point, way down the road. But you're right.
Yeah. As long as if there's still steam left in the fucking engine, don't fuck around with that.
Faux show. All right, back to the movie news. Back to life. Back to reality. It's a good song.
And I love that song.
Right.
Every time I hear that song, it reminds me of Stay Tuned. John Ritter. Dude. That's a great fucking movie, guys. If you guys have never seen Stay Tuned, wow.
Love Stay Tuned, man. Love that movie so much in my pantaloons. What is this business right here? What we got going on here?
Glenn says, does Michael Myers poop? I don't know. Glenn, I don't know, but that's a question that we all, as fans, hardcore fans, have wanted to know. Does he poop, or does he go to a toilet, or does he wear Depends, or just his butthole's been sewn up? Like, I don't know.
It's actually a really good question, man. I have honest to God.
I think the evil was so much in Michael Myers, it literally caused his butthole to shrink. I don't think he has a butthole anymore.
I got butthole syphilitis.
I just don't think he has. It's a butthole of evil. It's like a conehead ass. He just doesn't have an ass.
So on to more movie news. Back to the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder also this week released this picture, and you can see it in the little box there of Joker holding up a card that says Joker, and it says it's to David Ayer and to Jared Leto. He says, "Amazing character you created. Honored to have our worlds collide." And just to touch real quick on what we were talking about before, that is what I'm talking about. Zack Snyder easily could have taken the Joker and been like, oh, I'm going to take your version of the Joker and I'm going to show you got beef, and I'm going to show people how great he can be under my direction. I'm going to walk on this set and show Jared Leto what a real director is, and try to do basically what Josh Whedon is accused of doing on the set of Justice League, walking in there like he's big shit and talking shit about Snyder and everybody. This is the way to do it. He went out to David Ayer and Jared Leto and said, thank you for letting me use your character. I'm honored. You know what I mean? How cool is that?
Yeah, man, I love it. I also like the blurry effect of that picture because it looks like anybody trying to focus their eyes when they've drank too much the night before and they're getting ready for work and they're trying to get their hair done.
That's
in the
someone
mirror.
handing you Taco Bell.
That's 100% what it looks like. Or maybe you lost your glasses. But dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Zack Snyder wants to bring forth with Jared Leto's Joker, because here's the thing. The Joker from Suicide Squad was a complete garbage fire. I hated it. I didn't like anything about it. The 7-Eleven junkie look just doesn't work for me. Zack Snyder having anything to do with it though, and maybe, I don't know, freshening it up a bit, maybe adding a little bit of more flavor, maybe letting Jared Leto be Jared Leto a little bit more than what maybe David Ayer did or that script allowed for in Suicide Squad. I am for it. I'm so excited to see what that version might be, because here's the thing. We just reviewed, and I know some people didn't like it, and that's fine. That's okay. You're still invited to the party, to the birthday parties, but for the little things. But the way that Jared Leto was in that, I always felt like that was the Joker that Jared Leto could have brought to the big screen under the DCEU. He really could have brought a sleazy, grimy, nasty Joker to the big screen. Would it have been as big as Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger or Joaquin? No. I mean, it probably would still rank, blast. But at the same time, it would still be memorable and not infamous. Like, that's my point. It would have been, at least you'd be like, oh, that was a great Joker, man. It's not as good as these other Jokers, but it was still a good Joker, and I enjoyed it. And that would have been the perfect Joker to square off against the Ben Affleck's Batman. Yeah. Man, and you're right. There is a lot of respect going on between creators, and there's a lot of love in the room. I can feel it. Okay, I want to smoke it. But I like that. I really do think that Zack Snyder and Jared Leto, the Joker specifically, I think Zack Snyder could do a lot of cool things with that, and I can't wait to see what he does with his director's cut, with him being in it.
Yeah, man, me too. I can't wait to see. And again, I hope that it's not like this is what a real director does type of reaction. I really hope that Jared Leto's Joker, because whoopsie, Jay and I did we did a dream casting. We have a show called Dream Casting where we pick a role, and then we give our each like top 10 who we think would be great in this role. And I'm pretty sure when we did our thing for Joker, before he was actually cast, Jared Leto was on our list. And we both thought that Jared Leto would be a great Joker, and we had high hopes, especially when you saw just the blurry images of him a little bit. He looked amazing. The second that they showed the first image of Joker, the Suicide Squad Joker, with the damaged tattoo and the tattoos, our first thing that we said was, that's way too on point. Like, Joker is a maniacal, like, psychopath. Like, he's all about I keep wanting to say chaos. Anxiety, chaos, and anarchy. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Anarchy. He's all about anarchy. He would never go and get like damage tattooed on his eye. That didn't feel right to us. And neither of us liked the version that we got in the Suicide Squad. And a bunch of people in the chat saying this is not the Joker from the Suicide Squad. This is a different Joker. It's just Jared Leto's also playing him, which is really interesting. And that's going to confuse a lot of people when they see him in this movie.
Here's the thing. The Joker that we got with David Ayer, as far as when Jared Leto portrayed him, was first off, the love sequence between him and Harley was garbage. Fucking stupid. Joker doesn't give a goddamn about any vagina, whether it be Harley Quinn, which was hot, or any other vagina. He hates. The only thing he's fascinated or infatuated with is Batman. That's period. His focal point is Batman. He is crazy as fuck. He is literally the clown prince of crime. He can snap at any moment. He's scary. He's dangerous. These are all the things that they forgot to bring in the Suicide Squad. The thing about the Joker, he looked like a guy that was just recently released from San Quentin, listened to Johnny Cash albums all day, hung out at the fucking Speedway, and is in love with his girl. And I hated it. The thing about the Zack Snyder, I don't think it's like, I know people were saying maybe it'd be a different Joker. I think it's the same Joker. I just think that he's going to be different, because this is going to take place after Suicide Squad. Because if you look at the timelines, right, there's Man of Steel, there's BVS, then there's Suicide Squad, because in Suicide Squad, they mentioned the death of Superman and things like that. So the Justice League hadn't got together yet. And if you look at the picture, his hair is longer. So I'm thinking that his hair just grew out. He's been on the run for a while from On the Lam. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be the same Joker. I don't think that, maybe he had the tattoos damaged bullshit removed, or maybe he scribbled them off or something. I don't fucking know.
Well, he could even still have them, but what you said there is really fucking interesting, dude, because and Rambling Movie Take said, no, it's the same Joker. It's just 5 years after the apocalypse, which is basically the same thing that you're saying. It could be him later down the line, which it'd be interesting to see that same Joker, where before he was like a gangsta pimp and he was all, doing the stuff and stuff like that. But now, after some shit got real and happened, Joker's changed. And now he's the Joker that we kind of all wanted him to be in the movie. Like he's just this, sociopath, psychopath Joker. But it's like, let's look at the picture though. Like, so when you look at the picture, it's really fucking confusing, because that looks like Joaquin Phoenix. That looks like Heath Ledger to me. I see Heath Ledger in there as well. Mm-hmm. You could tell that he has long hair, but also, and nobody said this, so I know I gotta be wrong, but he almost looks like he's. You remember in which movie was it where Joker had it was the original one, 1989, right? When he had the bandages on after the accident.
Yeah.
And took him off, right? He almost looks like, if it weren't for the hair there, it would, because you see the crown of his head goes really far back. Like Jared Leto's hair doesn't look like that. Like his
Well, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Heath Ledger, The Dark Knight, where it says "Why so serious?" when they were trying to tease out and they blurred out Heath Ledger and they had the card. It's kind of the same. It literally is almost the exact same picture that they used for the Heath Ledger Joker. So it does look like that. He also looks like fucking a guy wants to be Brandon Lee so bad he's dressed up in crow makeup to do auditions for the new Crow movie. But I mean, honestly, look, anything that's different and new from what they did with Suicide Squad, as far as Joker's concerned, is an improvement to me. Like 100%.
Yeah. And I think it'll be better. Yeah. I think I'm back. I think it'll be better, but it's just, I think it's so weird that, well, you see, for one, he has a glove on there, right? You can see like the glove that you used to do dishes with, you know, like
he likes Michael Jackson,
but it looks like bandages. It looks like he has bandages on his face, kind of. So I don't know if that could be the situation that's going on there. Maybe he has bandages going around his face and his hair's just coming and overlapping it. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks amazing though. It looks like the fucking Cure is getting ready to drop a new album. By the way, JT Customs did point out he had a good point here. I don't know, JT, if I got this wrong, I'm sorry, don't sue. But I think he said something about, the nightmare sequence, the KNIGH nightmare that we never really got to see fleshed out in the Justice League movie. That's possible. That's the Joker in the nightmare sequence.
That would be cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a more even like worse off Joker, like how like Injustice, Gods Among Us, like that Joker was even more fucking crazy, I think, he normally is. If you had a Joker that was on the lam in a lot of, in like underground and even more fucked up, that would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'd be down for either way, man. Like, it's one of the few things that he didn't go back and he didn't film a lot for this movie. Like, he said that pretty much, but one of the things they did film is they filmed some new Joker stuff. And oh man, like, does this not excite you? Are you not entertained to imagine in March we're going to get a 4-hour cut of the Justice League coming from a guy who never even saw, according to Zack Snyder, never even watched the original Justice League, and he's got shit like this going on to throw into there, plus all the others, plus the Martian Manhunter that they showed that's going to be all CG. Oh my god, we're going to get a new movie.
It's going to be a brand new movie, and it's like a guy that's directed the movie saying he's never seen the original movie. He has no idea what the fuck fans are talking about anyway when they talk about the Justice League. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I've never seen the movie. I never wanted to see the movie, so I don't know what you're. And like, I would imagine that 80% of the movie is brand new. I'm not going to say that the whole thing is brand new. I would say 20% of it's probably going to be footage they used before, but 80% of that movie is going to be completely new cuts, new edits. It's going to feel like a completely different tone of the film, and I think that's what people are excited for. It's not the fact that it's 100% brand new movie, because I saw somebody had said that before. What are you all getting excited about? You're getting your panties in a bunch for like just a rehashed movie with a couple of bonus scenes. No bitch, it's not like that. This is going to be 80 to 85%. I'm gonna change it. 85% a brand new movie. You will have some leftover scenes, sure, but I mean, when you watch it and you compare the two, the Whedon and the Snyder Cut versions, you're just gonna be like, Jesus Christo, am I on alternate dimensions?
Now, the only thing that could come out and happen with that is, like, if you watch it and you go, man, because Zack Snyder didn't see the first movie, he might not realize this, but you might watch it and go, man, a lot of the same stuff in the first movie and this movie. But even then, the running time alone tells you that all these people told you that this movie could never happen, that there was no Snyder Cut, that it didn't exist. All these people that preach this to you over and over and over again. The running time alone being so much longer than the original movie tells you alone you're going to get an hour and a half of shit you haven't seen. Literally, that's the way time works, guys. The movie was like 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I don't know exactly, but this is a 4-hour cut. That's an hour and 40 minutes extra that you didn't get. Literally an entirely new fucking movie on top of it. What are people even arguing about at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, look, I don't even think they're going to have... Look, Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder are so different stylized, like how they do their movies, like as far as directing goes. He's not even going to accidentally stumble on Joss Whedon. That's like Richard Simmons and Billy Blanks. Like these motherfuckers are totally different, the way they approach their films. And I mean, Joss Whedon is Richard Simmons and goddamn Zack Snyder's Billy Blanks. Like, yes, they want you to exercise and not be fat and get toned up, but they both have different ways of approaching it. You got some glitterness and some fucking happiness, and then you got, bitch, get down here and fucking do some exercise and Billy Blanks. And I'm going to show you how to defend yourself. But yeah, I don't think he'll accidentally stumble on any of Joss Whedon's directorial, how he handles his movies. Yeah. And again, I'm not shitting on Joss Whedon. I like Joss Whedon. I think he did great with the Avengers, but man, he was just not the right fit for that movie at all. And I think he was an asshole the way that he approached it and the way that he acted to the actors and the production crew.
Cheers to that, man. You said it, brother. Gary Catlow says, ask the director about Swamp Butt, LOL. We will. Don't think that we won't. We'll be like, hey, man, you get Swamp Butt working on that.
That'll be the first question. It's like, hey, when summer comes up, are you always nervous in June when you get that squishy feeling in your pants and you know you didn't fart, but it's just that wetness, that swamp ass?
We like to loosen people up when we have them on the show, try to get them feeling good and loose, and like we want people to have fun, not feel like they're fucking, being interviewed for a water company position. It was just like when we were talking to Nate Basil. We sat and talked about drinking for 20 minutes, and he actually went, guys, what is this podcast about? What are we doing here? what are we doing?
I don't know. That's why I usually ask myself the same question, because after a while, you're like, are we even doing an interview anymore? Like, I mean, are we just hanging out, like fucking talking to a guy at Applebee's bar?
You gotta loosen the situation and then bang, bang, bang the drum. Big Papa Queef Man returns and he says, Arnie Grape versus Billy Madison. Make it queef, Hollywood. Ew. You like that word a lot, and that word makes me uncomfortable.
Queefing. Queef. Oh my God.
Blood Red Sky says, I just want to see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker now.
I would love to see that.
Let me ask you, gun to your head, Jay. Do you think you'll ever see Joaquin Phoenix in Joker makeup again?
Yes.
I say no.
100%. I mean, they've already they teased out Joker 2 not long ago.
They said that they wanted to make it. They were just waiting for the right script.
Look, the movie made like $1 billion fucking dollars. They're not stupid. They're not going to pass it up. And Joaquin's already interested in doing it again. So, I mean, I don't think it's not going to happen.
I'm going to say no just because you said yes.
I know that's what you do. But no, I think that Joaquin's going to come back for sure. I think it'll happen. I don't know when, but I think for sure. But, they got to keep it separate. You got to keep it separated.
Hey,
but I think that that'll happen at some point, but it won't have anything to do with the overall DCEU, which I think is smart. I think that if you continue on a Joker, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't love to see him go up against the DCEU's Batman at some point, or Robert Pattinson's Batman. That would be great. But the idea of the Joker movie going along its own merry way and having like these separate stories, I think that's what makes it powerful, man. That makes it fucking like notable.
And again, it's just like we were talking about with Marvel. Like, I don't need everything to tie into 6 different universes and have to be drawn out across 26 fucking movies. That's great when you could do it, and that's great that they did it. But we know these characters. Just give us fucking movies. Give us stories. Make it happen. Joss LaFleur, holy fuck, man. I don't know what the currency exchange is with the CA or whatever, but either way, man,
it's California currency.
Whether it's $69 or 69 cents, man, we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. He says, will there ever be a skit where Michael Myers smacks Loomis in the face with a twit? Oh shit, that's a fucking good idea.
Michael Myers smacks Loomis in the face all the time.
No, he said with a twisted tea can. Like the video, the video of the dude that fucking knocks the dude out with the twisted tea can.
Hell fucking no. Loomis should be the one doing that. Well, I'm not gonna get smacked.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Let's do it. Fucking, I'm ready. I want to see what that feels like. Not to be a racist.
It fucking hurts.
Shit, but to be
that motherfucker fell over. Tea can. He got knocked out.
He says, also, can me and my one coworker Anthony get a shout out from Loomis? So for Josh and Anthony, a shout out from Loomis. Much love from a Canadian. Wham for life. A boot.
Josh and Anthony.
Yeah.
How you doing, Josh and Anthony? I hope you're doing well this evening. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. It is goddamn Thursday. You're one day away from Friday. Now, on top of that, I will also say I give you the shout out, but I also say, fuck you. You're not going to smack me in the face with a twisted iced tea. I'll twist your ass all up and bungle it all the way to goddamn back to Canada. You ain't going to have it. I don't want it. I would kill Michael if he did it. I would have a gun ready to go on his eyeball socket. Have a good one.
I think we should do it. So our plan, by the way, you guys, and again, thank you guys so fucking much for that. That's a huge super chat, man. We really do appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man.
But our plan is like we're gonna get together on one Monday. Wednesdays, Friday night live streams, and then we're going to get together every Monday. One Monday, we're going to do a couple commentaries because we have a new show coming out this Saturday, Saturday night movie commentaries every Saturday night, 9 p.m. And then on the other Monday, we're going to get together and we're going to shoot skits and stuff like that and unboxings and trailer reactions. So definitely, I think it's probably time to get together again this coming Monday. We'll be filming some more, hopefully some skits and shit. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, dude, Mondays are really opening up some cool shit for us. We've already talked about it. I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised in the buttholes with what we come up with, because that really is a Monday of focus. it's like how come you can't jump at that knee moment. It's like we come in with, you cannot get katana sword by stealing, you must earn it. Yeah, we have a Shidoshi meeting and we're gonna come up with some good shit for you guys.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Marco Vivo Toro, thanks buddy, says in some way this Justice League has a bit of Injustice type vibe. Totally,
I hope so.
That.
Man, I swear to God, if they ever were smart, there's 2 adaptions they need to do right now, right off the fucking bat, to compete with Marvel right out the gate. They got to do an Arkham Asylum trilogy with Batman right now. They need to do that to compete with Marvel. I'm not saying the Batman's not going to be good, but I'm saying do that, and then the Injustice Gods Among Us would be fucking unbelievably huge.
Such a wild
You could
story.
make like 10 movies of that. Holy shit.
And again, you just do multiple alternate universes. Like, do the Injustice storyline universe, do this universe, do DC Black, fucking make it pop, baby. Pop that pussy.
Pop that pussy. Pop that pussy. I don't know the word. I was thinking of Major Pain. Yeah, dude, like, oh my God, Injustice Gods Among Us, like an actual adaptation with Zack Snyder behind the camera directing it. Oh, goddamn. It'd be like a fat woman fucking having all access to a Golden Corral buffet for 24 hours straight. It'd be nice.
I totally bitched out today on a side note. By the way, he also says Joker has a bit of Heath Ledger's Joker going on by the look. I totally agree, man. I bitched out today, dude. We got a membership at Sam's Club today, right? And we had to go there and we had to get our pictures taken.
Did you go?
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Katie did hers first, and it was this old lady, and she looked like an angry fucking lunch lady. It's like, take your slop and get out of my face. She was not in a good mood. And she's behind the big shield, and we had our masks on, and they let us take our picture with our masks on. I double masked it up, by the way, because my main mask doesn't feel that comfortable. I want the extra protection. But we're up there, and she just holds the iPad up for Katie, and she's like, let me take a picture for your card. And I thought to myself, I'm like, Mike, dude, you should cross your eyes or make a stupid face. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I got up there, and when she held up the thing, she just had this look of fucking evil in her eye that she was not going to laugh or be pleased. And I was like, cross your eyes. And I couldn't make myself do it. I was like, but I so badly wanted that one card where it was like,
dude, I've always wanted to do, and I don't have the balls either. Like, I know, like, I come up with ideas, like, if I'm gonna get a picture, like a license renewal, I'm gonna do something really fucking crazy. Like, remember Mr. Bean when he takes that picture and he goes, oh, like he makes his eye, like he's like, ugh. I want to do that, and then but I never can get the balls to do it. Like when push comes to shove, I'm like, I sucker out, and I'm like I think I would do that. Like even in like they were like, if I got a DUI or like I was arrested for any reason, they're like, all right, line up, you're gonna take a photo, and I'm like, because everybody just looks so miserable, like like goddamn 1800s black and white photo face. I would want to go, but you wind up probably doing like.
Yeah, if you do it at the DMV, they'll just make you take another picture. But I figured maybe Sam's Club, they'll let me get away with it. But then again, I didn't want to be the one guy. She was like, sir, I fucking have to be here all day long. Please don't fuck with me and take the goddamn picture. I'd be like, okay, sorry. And then my wife would have just been like,
well, you could have held the face like this for a while. I'm like, take the goddamn picture. Like, I'm paying for the card. Yeah. I can take whatever picture I want. By the way, I want to throw it out. Yes, RIP Dustin Diamond, aka Screech. I did see that. It sucks, man. He was a young guy, 44 years old, and to die in the way that he did sucks. That guy got diagnosed with cancer in January, and 3 weeks later he died. It was stage 4 lung cancer. That's fucking scary, man. But yeah, I know a lot of people have been mentioning that he talked a lot of shit on the cast and the crew of Saved by the Bell. He came out with that book. And it was like a tell-all behind the bell, and he admitted to using a ghostwriter. He did the sex tapes, which he even admitted later on that wasn't him, that was not his cock. he hired
did?
a body double.
Oh, I
Yeah,
never
dude.
knew that.
Yeah, he said he hired a body double to do the sex tape because the guy was broke. I mean, he filed bankruptcy. He was on an interview and they asked him, "Aren't you getting residuals from Save the Bell?" Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you should be fine. And he's like, "Yeah, I get them. They're like $3 or $4. Like, I'm not getting like anything substantial from the residuals." So he filed bankruptcy. Then he was doing something with Etsy just to try to make a living. Then he came out with the sex tape to try to get more interested. I don't know anybody that really would see the Dustin Diamond sex tape, but either way, it made some money. But he used a body double, and then he talked shit on Mark Paul Gosselaar and all those guys. He used a ghostwriter. He apologized for it. Yeah, so I mean, we could name all the bad things that he did, and it sucks. But at the same time, he was still a cool guy that was a part of a lot of people's childhood. I remember Screech. I grew up with Saved by the Bell. Screech was cool, and it sucks that he died, man. He died at 44 years old, and he got diagnosed with cancer, and it's a bitch, man. And it came that fucking fast. So R.I.P. for him.
Well said, man. Well said. Gary Catlow says Kathy Yon made Birds of Prey woke as fuck, and now she's turning on Warner Brothers saying they made the movie bad, and she wants a Yon cut.
I never seen it.
I honestly, man, I hear this all the time, and I don't mean any disrespect to you, Gary, but I loved it. I love the movie. It was in my top 10 of the year. Like, I thought that movie was funny. I thought it was fun. I had a blast with it. Not my kids, because my younger daughter's not old enough to watch it, but my bigger kid liked it. I didn't see any wokeness in it at all, but I've heard a bunch of people say that, so that shit just missed me, I guess. But I mean, I still liked it. But I do think that, like, at some point, we do got to tone down the, hey, I want my cut. You know what I mean? Like, I do want to see the Suicide Squad cut, because apparently there's a lot of shit edited out of that.
Who did he say it was?
Who?
The one that made it woke?
Kathy
the director?
Yon, the director. Yeah, she directed.
Yeah,
it.
I've never seen Birds of Prey. It has nothing to do whether or not it was woke or not. I don't give a shit about that. But honestly, to be honest, I just didn't give a shit about seeing the movie at all, because the Birds of Prey never really was a high priority for me. I remember when the TV show came out. I remember the comic book ran. I never gave a shit about it. But her being mad, I don't know if that's true or not. Again, so I can't really comment on whether it's because she's mad that it's not woke enough. I mean.
Well, I don't think she said that. They just said that she made it woke as fuck, and then she said that they cut her.
Well, here's the weird thing. According to a lot of other people, the Mad Max Fury Road was supposed to be a woke fucking movie. I thought it was a great movie. I didn't see the wokeness in it. I thought it was cool.
Me either.
I thought Tom Hardy was badass in it. I thought Charlize Theron was badass in it. I mean, and trust me, I'll call out the wokeness if they're fucking forcing it. But Charlize Theron was great. I didn't think they were forcing vagina is the master of the universe kind of shit. I didn't think that.
We were talking about that earlier. It's not always black and white. There's a gray area. I think if you make a movie with a strong female character, and this is not against you, Gary, because you're not the only one that said that, but for me, I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she's fucking fantastic. But I just think that, like you said with Mad Max Fury Road, just because the movie has a strong female lead doesn't mean it's a woke movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe.
And I was mad at myself when I said that. I was like, what the fuck did I miss? Did I get like brainwashed?
was that scene in Avengers Endgame where they made it a point to make all the females be on one side of the battlefield and do that? Was it woke? Yes. On the other hand of that, there's a lot of little girls out there that saw that and were really fucking pumped, and that made them feel really good about themselves. So I don't really care. Like, I'm an adult. I see a movie and it makes me a scene makes me cringe. I'm like, that's a little dumb. But 10 other parts of the movie made me cringe too. So if that scene makes a little girl fucking smile, then fucking awesome. I say put it in every goddamn movie. I don't give a shit. No, I'm a 35-year-old man.
The thing about Avengers Endgame, I think that the problem with that was the fact that if it had been organic, I think that the whole Mad Max Fury Road was an organic film. It made sense. Like, she was awesome. She was badass on her own. It got the point across. It wasn't forced in. And the thing about the Endgame, I did get cringed out of that, but because the whole story about Brie Larson going to the directors, I'm sure they rolled their fucking eyes till they broke the planet Jupiter. Like, okay, we'll give you a little fucking donut if you go the fuck away. It looked like that to most people, even people in the theater. I'm sure groaned.
And I get that. I saw the cringe in it. I did.
Yeah, it was bad. But as far as it being woke, as far as Mad Max, I didn't get it. But Birds of Prey. I mean, Mike said it was good. I don't know, but it's weird, man. Like, and I saw, what's your name? Something Skies, Red Blood Skies, says that any movie can be woke depending on how you look at it. Yeah, it's a matter of perspective, I guess. But when it's so obvious, it's not really perspective anymore. It's pretty much in your face.
Yeah,
like if they're doing something that's obvious, it's in your face. Yeah. And some of these movies do that. I don't think that Mad Max did that, but I don't think that it really happened with that director from Birds of Prey. Why would she? I don't know. I don't think that she really cared that much of a shit to go and fucking yell at somebody. I don't know.
She came out and said that she wanted her cut and that WB fucked her up. She did that, you know, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I know they changed the name of it. It was a big fucking mess. Warner Brothers really had a bad track record for a while with like really putting their hand in shit they should just let go. Jeff Harris says, how would you guys do a Joker sequel? I would be down, but in the same way worried because I love the first one. I personally want to see a Mr. Freeze tragic origin movie. You know,
that would be amazing.
The story of Mr. Freeze could really make for exactly what you just fucking said, dude. And
oh
it would
my
make
God.
him, almost like they made a whole movie about Venom, right? About you know, not a hero-ish villain, anti-hero, anti-villain. I don't know how you put that, but yeah, you could do that.
Dude, Mr. Freeze as an actual dramatic character that comes across as relatable and understanding of why he's doing what he's doing would be the best idea for DC to do right now, because Mr. Freeze is a very complicated character. He's not technically a traditional villain in the fact that he wants to rule the world or kill people at random. He's doing it for the reason that a lot of us would do certain things. Love. He loves his wife and he's trying to cure her sickness, her illness, and he gets caught up in this crime situation and he doesn't really want to be a bad guy. Dude, that would be so well done. I think that, you know what I would do? Back in the day, I would cast someone like, and I would shoot it in the same way. I would cast someone like Russell Crowe and then shoot it like A Beautiful Mind. Do something like in those like veins of how that movie was shot.
I love that idea.
And I would make it a very emotional, impactful movie so that when you leave the movie theater, even though you know it's Mr. Freeze, Victor Freeze, and he's going to be a bad guy and a nemesis against Batman, he has a good, solid reason for what he's doing. And then you're like, you have to kind of relate to it.
Yeah, I love that idea. I just think that at the end of the day, though, it comes down to it's Mr. Freeze. It's a guy in a gigantic suit. And I think in comics, you can get that tragic backstory and it can be super serious, and you can have a guy in a giant Frigidaire suit. It's hard for me to imagine how you could, because I love the idea what you just said, but at the same time, like, you have the serious trailer with Russell Crowe doing all this shit, and it's a movie like that, and then at the end you're like, the sad tale of Mr. Freeze. I mean, whatever they call it, it's just going to feel like it's Mr. Freeze.
Well, they kind of did it with Joker, with Joaquin.
He just has a terrible name, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying the story's not right for it. I'm just saying the name Mr. Freeze is maybe one of the worst, now that we go back and think about it, worst named villains of all time.
Well, and again, Mr. Freeze is stupid, but Victor Freeze is his name, and I guess it makes sense though.
It's better.
Victor Freeze is his name, and the media, which the media in today's world is just as dumb as in comic books, gave him the name, the Monquier, Mr. Freeze. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you had said, "Don't call me that." Why did you say that name?
What killed the dinosaurs? The dinosaurs!
As far as how I would do a Joker sequel, I don't think I would, and this is why. It's not that I don't want to see a Joker sequel. It's not that Joaquin Phoenix wasn't great. It's not like there's threads to go with there. Honestly, the reason I don't think you can do a Joker sequel is because that movie walked the line of glorification of violence. It was a fucking tightrope. I mean, at the end, when you got a guy who's picked on and mentally ill, and I won't go deep into this because we could do a whole video on it, but it was touch and go between whether you felt bad for him and rooted for him at some points, and at the same time he's also murdering people. You can't murder a guy just because he makes fun of you. I mean, maybe the guy didn't deserve to be murdered, that kind of thing. And I think that if you went further with that storyline, if it's called Joker 2, my original thought was, you could do about the rise of Joker after that happened. He starts to get his team together. He starts to get power. He starts to become the Joker. But at the same time, like, at what point is everybody going to go, whoa, you're glorifying this way too much, and you got to stop now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they could, I don't know, man. I think they can make it because I feel like the Joker movie was a prequel to the actual Joker. Yeah. Like what he became. Joaquin Phoenix, someone made fun of him, but it was years of abuse. It wasn't just one. I mean, and the movie itself explains that it's a tale of mental illness and undiagnosed mental illness, and he had a lot of fucked up things. I'm not excusing his behavior by any stretch of the imagination, but the point being is there's been a lot of movies like that where they could borderline glorifying violence because they're trying to get a point across. In the Joker's case, I'm talking about Joaquin Phoenix's performance in that movie and the way that the movie was directed and the script that was laid out. Yeah. I feel like it was a good origin story of what we know as the Joker. And like, we all know him as the clown Prince of Evil. he's this terrible human being, and he's fucking awful and what he does. But there's an origin behind it. There's a reason why he's like that. And I feel like this is a good starting off point. So I think they could do a sequel to it, whether or not it would go, if the end of the movie and the sequel would end up him facing off against the Batman, which I think that would be the possibility, the potential of doing that. Yeah. I mean, I totally think that a sequel is possible. And the way I would do it is I would continue on his mental spiral of into hell that he was having at the and like like at that point at the very end of the movie, he was basking in what he had done. He was smearing the fucking makeup, the blood on his face, creating the Joker smile. He was having fun. At this point, Arthur is fucking gone. He snapped. And now in the sequel, you would have a full-on, fully boner erect Joker that's ready to fucking torch the city. I mean, it would.
I agree with you, but I think that I don't think it could be Joker 2. Like, I think that character can continue, but I don't think it could be Joker 2. I think you have to put Joker in a Batman movie. I think you have to have a hero of the movie now at this point. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I was thinking about that while you were talking.
You need a protagonist.
If you just continue to show Joker as the main forefront of the movie, I think that worked for one movie, and I think it barely, as great as the movie was, I think it barely worked for one movie. It skirted the line of, whoa, this guy, this is our main guy. A little bit much. I think if you put him in a Batman versus Joker movie or any kind of Batman movie as the Joker, and you have a hero to follow, that's like you've gone too far now, Arthur, whatever. I think he could work. But as far as just following his story and his story alone and his rise as the Joker, I think at that point it's a little bit showering praise on something.
Well, but it's also watching. I mean, in my opinion, it's no different than watching Godfather and watching the rise of a mafia king in Godfather. I mean, if you look at Godfather 1, he was this innocent kid from the army, and then he got tangled up in the mess. Godfather Part 2 really established him. You go to Godfather Part 3, I mean, it's just it's him rising to the levels of what his dad was in the Dawn.
It's an interesting point, but at the same time, in Godfather, he's killing other bad guys who are worse than him. If you went, but he's still killing Joker, people. He's killing people, and fucking. I know people don't say this, but like Batman or the X-Men or whoever, superheroes kill people too, but they kill bad guys. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies, like, yeah, but they were all bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Joker is killing people on the street because they made fun of him, and yeah. I mean, people made fun of him his entire life. It doesn't matter how much people make fun of you, though. Eventually, you can't just go out killing people, no matter how bad people.
No, I mean, obviously, I agree, but I also feel like this is just a really good exploration of when someone hits their fucking wall, and how far down the rabbit hole can you go? I just think it's a really cool exploration of that psyche, and I mean, and Joker is an interesting character, whether or not you're a fan of the comic book series or not. Even psychologists have done fucking books on him in real life. Yeah. Because of the sociopathic, who he is. Like, he's just this guy that's completely lost. And I think that what Joker, the sequel, would do would explore even further down he would go. And then ultimately, at the very end of that movie, be the full-blown clown prince of crime. But yeah, I think that they're going to make a sequel. Again, you don't make $1 billion movie that's rated R in the DCEU or the DC movie and not make a sequel to it. It's going to happen. Joaquin's already pretty much expressed interest in doing a sequel to it. It's going to be, you're right, though. It's going to have to be very finely done. And again, glorifying violence, like Quentin Tarantino is pretty much like fucking jacks off on violence every day. Like, I mean, his movies are literally full of it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right, though. As far as like the psychology part of it and the mental illness part of it, they got to be real careful on how they approach that.
And again, like, you don't want. We say this about Rob Zombie's Michael Myers all the time. Like, you took a character who was mysterious, who we didn't know why he did what he did, and that's what made him so scary. And you just made him up from a bad childhood. You know what I mean? Like, if you do that with the Joker too much, and like, oh, he was bullied as a kid, like he was bullied as an adult. People treat him like shit. That's why he does what he does. I almost feel like that does. If you go too far, I think I think that the Joker was fucking awesome. I just think that they smoked it to the nub. I don't think you can go back to that storyline any more than you did. I think they found that perfect balance, because if you go further with that, then it's going to be this is all the Joker is. It's just a mentally ill guy who was bullied. Like, the Joker that we know in the comic books is much more mysterious and fucking wild-minded than that. You know what I mean?
Well, there's an origin always. Simone actually says Joker 2, they should do a killing joke. That would be great, and that actually would work really well. But they would have to tie in Batman at some point later in the film, and I could see them leading up to that toward the last 20 minutes of the film, having the killing joke actually happen, or at least our beginning parts of killing joke. That would be amazing as well. We know it's a movie. Somebody say it's just a movie. That's all. I know. I get it.
Hey, man,
we understand that. But there are implications from the movie that a lot of people took after they left the theater. Was this a cry out for mental health? And is mental health something to be scoffed at? No, absolutely not. Mental health is a real thing, and people do suffer from this illness. And I'm not talking about the.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, well, I mean, I'm just saying, they didn't. I feel like the movie itself is a very unique, a special movie that focuses a lot of its material on the fact that mental health is very important. And this guy, he got made fun of. And again, it's not condoning if you get made fun of and go fucking shoot somebody or go goddamn chop off their head and then shit in their mouth. Nothing like that. It's just saying, like, so everybody has their breaking point. Everybody has their breaking point, and some people handle it differently. What this guy did was go off on a goddamn homicidal, crazy adventure.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to look at the Joker. What it did was it reinvented the Joker in a lot of people's eyes, because everybody just sees the Joker and they're like, oh, is this crazy fucking villain of Batman? But what they did was like made him a little bit more human, a little bit more where you can understand a little bit about, oh, I get it. I kind of get it.
And it worked for the movie, but overall, if the movie wasn't so good, I could see easily being like, I don't want to fucking humanize Joker. Like, come on, this is a fucking mass homicidal maniac who will kill you just as soon as fucking look at you. Now, I'm not saying that about the movie, because I like the movie. You know what I mean? But I just think the movie, that's kind of it. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's why I think the movie works on its own, but I think pushed any further, it doesn't work. But how badass would it be, dude, if you created, like, fuck Joaquin Phoenix living in Robert Pattinson's Batman world. What if they took Batman and they put a new Batman into the Joker world? What if we had a new Batman that was grown up from that kid, that was in the movie, and you had a complete different world over here? That could be pretty neat too. But now
that's what I'm saying. I that goes back to the fact that Warner Brothers is in a really unique position where they can do this with their characters.
Yeah,
they can make several tangent storylines that have nothing to do with one another if they so choose. Yeah. And keeping Joker rated R. Look, the sequel's gonna fucking happen. I would stake my goddamn wiener on it. It's gonna happen, and whether or not they put Batman in it is gonna be the interesting point. I don't think they'll do it because they've already got two Batman at this point. They've got the Batfleck, and then they've got Robert Pattinson. Throwing another Batman in the mix with Joker, it'll just confuse things even further. So they'll probably leave that out. You'll see Joker 2, but if the money's right and the story makes sense, I don't know. Maybe at some point, if the Batman does really, really well with Matt Reeves, could there be a potential crossover? I'm not going to go ahead and rule it out. I'm not going to be that asshole. And like, I definitively no way. I think they might. I think that if Joker 2, which the sequel does well, the Matt Reeves, the Batman does well, I think at some point you'll have a Robert Pattinson Batman facing off against the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, and I think that'll be fucking phenomenal. What's weird, though, is if you think about this, that's like Warner Brothers competing with itself in a way.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, those are billion-dollar films right there, right? Yeah. And then what if the next, Flash and all the other stuff that they're doing doesn't really do the same amount of money as they're doing with those type of characters? It's almost like, why are you doing it? It's like opening up a McDonald's next to another McDonald's that you already own. Like, I don't know.
Then they'll go real quick back to the super low-key storylines and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, hey, great fucking question, dude. We spent half the hour on that. But it's an interesting conversation for sure, man. For sure. Marcus Hicks says, what are your thoughts on us getting a Halloween Kills trailer during the Super Bowl this Sunday? Dude, last Super Bowl, I even did an article on it. I'm like, if you look here and you look here and you look here, it's possible it happens. We get the movie trailer. We didn't, and I don't think we will this time. I think June is probably when you're going to see another Halloween Kills trailer.
Yeah, dude, it's not coming out in Super Bowl at all. Like, I think I said last year, because the thing is, it costs a lot of money to pay fucking advertisers to make your commercial for the Super Bowl. They're not going to put out that much money for it. And plus, right now, Halloween Kills is a unique position. Yeah, and it's also expensive as fuck for you to pay for the Super Bowl. And I don't know, man. I feel like you won't see the next trailer for Halloween Kills. It'll be I'm gonna think more August. honestly, because I think they're putting it together. If they stick to the timeline of October, because that was the whole point, right? I mean, we don't even know if the movie theaters are still going to be around.
I only say June because that's when Halloween 2018 came out, and that movie also came out in October. But I don't know at all. So
we will see, but we will see. We'll be excited, dude. If I see that during the Super Bowl, goddamn, dick's hard for months.
Hard dicks. Side, I don't want it during the Super Bowl, dude. I just want to concentrate on how bad the Chiefs are going to beat the fuck out of the Buccaneers. You heard it here first. Joe Madero says, I just want to let you guys know that I'm done in quarantine and I'm back to work on Friday. Thank you all for the positive thoughts. Fuck yeah, Joe.
Hey,
fuck,
man.
quarantine's over with, buddy.
Get it.
Yes. And to all of you guys who are dealing with COVID, whether you're waiting on a test to come back or you got a family member that tested positive or you're positive yourself or whatever the happenings may be, our thoughts are with you. That shit sucks. Waiting for a test result to come back sucks. Knowing you have a family member that has it sucks. It's a bitch, man. It really is.
Yeah, it sucks. But by the way, you just be that guy from Punch Out, man, with the pink jumpsuit following around the fucking guy that's training you and have that music in your head. Like, that's all you got to be. Train up, man. You're good. I'm glad that you're back out.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. Cheyenne Turner says, hey, guys, I think Russell Crowe would be a great Mr. Freeze. Did she?
You actually, I agree. Somebody actually called out fat Russell Crowe as a Mr. Freeze. Like, I mean, I know Mr. Freeze is technically a kind of thin guy, but if you had fat Russell Crowe and his acting prowess alone could guarantee, yeah, dude, he'd be perfect. I don't think he'd ever do it. He turned down fucking Wolverine and gave it to Hugh Jackman. So I don't think he's really interested in comic book movies.
Yeah.
But he'd be great. He'd be a great. I also would pick. I think Paul Bettany would be a really good Mr. Freeze, but he's tied up with the Vision.
I don't love Paul Bettany, but I could totally see that, man. I really could. Maxima Max says Henry Cavill as Injustice Superman would be insane. The little bit of evil Superman we got in Batman's Nightmare and BVS shows he could pull it off. Zach is great at delivering fan service properly. Oh yeah. Oh fucking yeah.
Yeah, dude. Again, an Injustice would be a killing for anybody to make. I just feel like Warner Brothers put their balls in Marvel's purse and has forgot to pick them up. So just like the Burbs, hey, can you take your balls out of your wife's purse so you can fucking be human for a moment? We know people like, but I'm saying like that. That's exactly what that was. So
Big Papa Queef Man says, can I hear Slender Man attempt a screamo?
What's
I want to see this. You know, screamo like, yeah. You know, like.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so maybe on like a Six Flags amusement park ride, and me going up like this. Here we go. Oh, whoa! That was
a little higher pitch, but
no, me not trying to do Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. Thank you, though. Me not gonna go that high.
I need it.
Me ain't gonna do it. That's as far as it goes.
Come on, dude. Give me one big scream.
Me can't do it. That's as far as it goes. Let me just see.
God damn it. I'm gonna get him to do shots later. We'll do it. Slenderman like,
yeah, Slenderman can't go that high. That's 100%. The balls are still hanging low.
We'll let you wear the emo fucking head thing. Joshua Stinchcomb. Oh, I heard something scary. Joshua Stinchcomb. I like your name. I don't know why. I just like it. He says, hey, Mike and Jay, could I get Slender Man to wish my brother Christopher Robin a happy birthday? Love y'all. Thank you for all the laughs. Chris, like from Winnie the Pooh? Christopher Robin, a happy birthday from Slender Man.
Happy birthday, Christopher Robin. Make sure that you read many stories from Winnie the Pooh. As Mike has already mentioned, your name is similar to the character in the films and in the book as well. Now, don't you get sick on that honey. All right? You make sure that you have appropriate amount of it. As well. Do not do anything foolish as well, like go to a strip bar in middle of night and blow all you money. Okay? You stay home and enjoy yourself with your loved ones, Christopher Rubin. And by the way, next morning, you have someone take you a Subway sandwich right away, and you have an egg Subway sandwich. Okay, Christopher Robin, you have a great one. Thank you so much.
Nikki Ball says, hey guys, thank you, Nikki. Says, hey guys, just want to say love you guys and the Wham family. For me and Alex, aka The Shape in the Shadows, could we get a shout out from Dr. Chalice? For Nikki Ball and Alex. Well, hang on, I gotta.
You gotta get more drunk.
You know, as a doctor, sometimes people come around and, they just really, I like the cut of their jib. And I like the cut of your jib, Nikki. I like it. I'd like to take you to a ball game, buy you a hot dog, maybe a pretzel with some mustard. But you and, Alex is a good guy too. Alex is a guy I could go to the pub with. We could have a couple, Boilermakers. And, we walk out to the street and your stomach gets full and you feel like you got to take a pee. And you take a pee in the street and then someone yells up and they go, "Hey, your wank is out." And I say, "Hey, listen, Linda." And they go, "My name's not Linda. I'm not your wife, buddy. Your wank is out in the street and there's children around." And I say, "Hey, I got the kids some goddamn Halloween masks for Halloween. I did my part. I got conferences. Mrs. Grumpridge can wait. Where's my car? Alex? Nikki? It's getting late. Let's have a drink."
Dude, I swear to God, when you do that, I swear it sounds like goddamn Barack Obama drunk on the sidelines at Michigan Wolverines coaching the fucking college football team to victory, but he's drunk as fuck and he can't remember what the plays are. It sounds like a drunk Barack Obama college football coach.
It's such a hard it's funny because it's such a hard thing to do because he just sounds like a dude. Like Dr. Chalice just sounds like a dude. You really need the mustache and the outfit.
I was going to say, I think that 90% of his cool factor is the mustache.
It is, but then again, he was in
he's powerful.
Fog. He was in The Fog too. I mean, that guy was Dr. Chalice. Tom Atkins in the Fog. He was Dr. Chalice too. When she was like, "Are you weird?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm weird."
I know. I liked your Chalice, man. I just every time I fucking hear it, dude, I swear I think of Barack Obama. It just sounds like Barack Obama drunkenly talking to me about something that I don't really know what he's talking about.
I think I honestly, dude, I think it's more like in Deadpool 2 when like the guy named Tom who wants to be
Sugar Bear, Bear.
Yeah.
Are you Sugar Bear?
That's what come out.
Go home, Sugar Bear.
Marco Vivillatoro, they said they mentioned that aspect of Joker being punked and bullied and having a tough life in the animated movie Red Hood. That's true too. They do mention that.
Oh yeah, they did. Okay, yeah.
But that's the thing about Joker, right? His story's all over the place. Gary Catlow says, "I haven't seen Birds of Prey. I just heard it was bad, and apparently Kathy said stupid stuff before it came out. What I meant is she's after her own cut now, and too many people want their own cut." I totally agree with you.
Yeah, David Ayers also got the crowd working for him too for Suicide Squad director's cut. So,
but I do think that you should watch it because I think
I planned on doing it. I just haven't got around to it.
And then, sorry, I'm just trying to get through super chats. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the Halloween news and the Burbs review. Ash Lockhart. Hey, I hadn't seen you in a while, Ash. It's good to see you. Says, expect another package from me and Kelly again. Thank you all very much. You guys
can't wait.
Fucking cool as shit, and we love you.
It better be Pert Plus shampoo because I'm out.
And then finally, Lex Green says, "What's up, my guys? Can I get a Slender Man shout out too?" Thanks, Lex.
Hey, Lex. Yeah, thank you so much. Of course you can, Lex Green. I mean, you could have shout outs all day long. By the way, you names sound like something that you made up on the Xbox console when you playing Halo. In the way, like, it also sounds like, you sound some calls on the side, youth call salesman. That's what happens sometimes, especially in these days. In the way, Lex Green, me hope you having a great evening and everything going well for you. Me hope you laundry is done as well, so that you have fresh underwear on as you walking around town tomorrow. Lex Green, you have a great week, and we will see you again real soon. Thank you so much, Lex Green.
All right, guys, we are going to take a quick pee break. We will be right back with Halloween Kills talks. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it's just something fun we can talk about. And then
Halloween Kills comes out on my birthday, February 22nd.
Surprise!
Oh, fuck, I wish it was true.
Love you guys. We'll be right back. My pee-pee hurts from needing to pee-pee.
Shit.
Do you know what happened today?
No?
Shitty stuff.
Did you find your wiener?
I did, finally.
Oh, where was it?
It was in my butt. No, man. Friday the 13th news. We'll start with that. Not the good. Not good at all. Okay. Not good.
Oh, you're talking about world news or movie news.
Yeah.
I haven't. I thought I thought you were actually gonna give me some real news, like some fucking Geraldo Rivera inside information.
No. The real news is much too scary. Much too scary. But so another Friday the 13th lawsuit is out. Not only do we not have an answer to the first goddamn butt-picking lawsuit, but another lawsuit's out. Friday the 13th, this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Friday the 13th producer sues Warner Bros. And Paramount for profits. Sean Cunningham alleges the studio has systematically misaccounted contingent compensation from the franchise. So what he's saying, it says the lawsuit presents the latest chapter of defendants Hollywood accounting. Basically what happened was, and Shelley, who was in Friday the 13th, grew up to be a lawyer, a copyright lawyer, and he explained it a little bit more. He says, here, I got a hold of the new Friday the 13th lawsuit and can give you a little more information. The plaintiffs are Sean Cunningham Films, Ltd. and Horror Inc. The defendants are Warner Bros., Paramount, and New Line. He says Sean is represented by Johnson & Johnson, a very experienced Beverly Hills law firm, yada, yada, and it only concerns the Friday the 13th, 2009 reboot. That's the only movie that it has to do with. But basically, he's saying that the defendants basically used Hollywood accounting to cheat Sean out of the profits he was supposed to get from the reboot. This is a fairly common lawsuit in Hollywood and will probably result in the defendants paying Sean some money in the future. Will this lawsuit stop any future Friday the 13th movies from being produced? Hard to say. If things are worked out with Victor Miller, and that's a big if, there is nothing stopping Sean and Warner Bros. From going forward on a new movie. In fact, better to get some money going on a new production than wait for the lawsuit to end. But either side could use the lawsuit to push for better terms on a new production. In my humble opinion, if the Miller case is resolved, there will be a new movie made.
God damn, man. Like, can we please leave that deformed boy alone from Crystal Lake and get some goddamn movies on the fucking screen? Holy shit. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. Look, I don't know Sean Cunningham. I don't know. Maybe he is entitled some moolah, some bread. But at the same time, man, if it's not, like, again, this whole fucking litigation process is so fucking moronic and backward and does nothing but give slaps to the face to the fans, dildo slaps that want a goddamn new fucking movie. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, that is bad news. It's bad news. And whether or not it's going to add a wrinkle to this movie getting up off the ground, you're goddamn right. First off, he's represented by Johnson & Johnson, the fucking people that make baby powder fucking ass shit. So, I mean, it's not going to be, they're going to drag this thing out. Like, you know what? I am so looking forward to 2050 when we get a Friday the 13th movie, when I'll be rocking my goddamn wheelchair and my oxygen bag to go see a movie and my colostomy bag on top of it. This is ridiculous, man. Look, I get it. Like, if you're owed money for, and you feel like you were fucked and you have no other recourse to go about but go to the courts and the law to get that compensation, that's fine. I understand if you've exhausted all the avenues. But did you, I don't know Sean Cunningham. And I'm not trying to get sued because I don't want to say some shit to get fucking brought into the lawsuit.
Hey, we'll be next. He's too happy
or
as fuck.
Slander or some shit. But I'm just saying, man, like it really is. It's a fucking wrinkle. And whether or not he's saying it's not going to prevent them from moving on, they could tie this motherfucker up in litigation for as long as they want.
Well, the only thing about that is I don't know if this case being tied up in litigation would stop another movie from being made. But if it could, I don't know. I'm not a fucking lawyer, but I'll tell you this, man. Sean Cunningham is pretty fucking sue happy. And whether, I guess technically is Victor Miller the one suing him for the other case? I don't know. All I know is this. It's so stupid. It's so dumb to be like, I don't want new money. I want old money. I want money. I'm old from this. Like, you got two sides here basically going, we could fucking hash this out. We could get in a room with a mediator, figure out fucking something, right? And then move forward with it and make new films because Halloween's blowing the fuck up right now. If they put out a new Friday movie right now, look how popular Never Hike in the Snow is. Look how popular Jason still is. This is the time to strike. You got to bang, bang, bang the drum. And instead of coming together and figuring their shit out and just putting their swords down for 5 fucking seconds and being like, hey, there's a lot of new money that we could go out and make together. We could be fucking pounding out sequels right now. We could be making the fans happy. We could keep Jason alive. We could be doing awesome shit right now. And instead, they're like, no, I want that old money. I don't want new money. I want fucking old money. It's so stupid.
Hollywood, dude, it's the greed is the seed. of the cum that comes in the butt for Hollywood. They don't give a shit. It's greed, man. Like in a lot of ways, it's greed. They want to keep on padding their pockets, and then and again, I don't know this Sean Cunningham, and it may not just be him. It may be other people that he's representing in his own way and doing this. Maybe they're little people that they can't get up on the stage to do that they feel they need compensation for. But it's greed, man. Like, yeah, I mean, normal people like you and I. If we had a dispute on something, if I owned something as Friday the 13th and you were like, well, I didn't get money for this, we'd hash it out over some fucking beers and chicken wings.
Yep.
And then we would like figure it out. We move on like dudes, like fucking dudes in the
like
old
men,
West.
God damn it.
Like, give me a milk in a dirty glass, men. But unfortunately, you're right. Everybody's too happy. And I swear to God, dude, if I were the fucking lawyer for Sean Cunningham and I were a Friday the 13th fan, as soon as they came out with the smallest offer, I'd be like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. I'd be like, saddle.
Instead, they're the other Jim Carrey. They're like, I'll put the system on trial.
Yeah, it really is. You know what? And again, it's not about. It's just a slap in the face of the fans of Friday the 13th, and there is a huge demand for a movie, like a sequel to either the 2009 Friday the 13th or a brand new reboot. And like you mentioned, Never Hike in the Snow, Never Hike Alone, all those, the interest that those fan films generated, and the way that they were put together so well.
Yep.
There's perfect breeding ground for any studio to get behind, like to actually produce a real awesome Friday the 13th movie. It would be, I mean, dude, it would really be great for horror. But unfortunately, we just have these fucking goddamn wackadoos out there in Hollywood fucking suing everybody. Jesus Christo.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's just, it's when there's smoke, there's fire, and you see one lawsuit, two lawsuit, three lawsuit, fuck you. I mean, there's just like all over the place. It's like y'all could be doing so many things.
He's getting sued. You sue me, I sue them. You sue me, I sue them. Then I sue your mom.
I wonder if he's going. I wonder if maybe he heard something that we don't know. On the flip side of that, maybe he heard something about the ongoing case against Miller that he's going to lose. And he's like, all right, well, fuck it. If I'm not going to have the rights to this shit and I have to give them to you, then I'm going to go look for my piece elsewhere. And if that's the case, then, yeah, hell, you can't blame him. If he's already on the outs, if he's already on the outs and can't do anything with Friday the 13th going in the future, then, hey, I'm going to go get this money then fine, whatever. That doesn't affect the fucking franchise, whatever, if it just happens that. But that whole thing's just so confusing anyways. It's just a shit show, man. I feel bad for Jason.
Dude, I never, like, that fucking rotting head of his mom is, like, getting more deteriorated by the fucking day because of this bullshit.
I'm right here, baby. You ready to talk about all the fine things in life?
I am. I'm ready to touch it, squeeze it, smack it up, flip it, whatever you want.
Let's put some jelly on that and just call it a day. Hey, by the way, I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the moderators that have been very readily available for us. They've done a fantastic job.
Yep.
Let's give a round of applause for them. They are awesome. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us and doing the job, and we appreciate it so much.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. And Vanessa is our newest moderator.
I know. I love it. And that's why I always wondered, Vanessa, were you not ready to step up to the challenge of Grayskull yet and grip the sword and say you have the power? Because, yeah, she's great, man. Like, Vanessa's an awesome person, and I'm really happy that she's a moderator along with everybody else.
To be a moderator, it has to be somebody that's level-headed. It's not going to be like, hey, you're not allowed to say the word Greg, or else I'll fucking cancel you.
Hey, man.
And our moderator.
And no offense to Greg Harris. We love you, Greg, but hey, man, your name has come up. Like, no, I'm kidding. I love you, Greg.
Ash Lockhart, thank you, Ash, says no one thought Jason could die, but the courts proved us wrong. The lawsuit killed him in one strike. It's true.
That's true. That's sad. I don't like what you just did there. I don't like how you worded that. Like, that makes me sad in all the wrong places.
The courts did it. Gypsy Warrior says, missed my super chat, but what the heck, Zack Snyder Jason movie or Christopher Nolan Elm Street movie? Sorry we missed it, man. You guys are fucking just amazing here tonight, and you're killing it, and my bad. But Zack Snyder Jason movie or Christopher Nolan Elm Street movie, I'm gonna say absolutely Zack Snyder. Because
really? I thought you'd be in my court here, son. I was gonna go with Nolan for the Nightmare movie, just because I feel like if you look at the way that he films, it's very cerebral.
Yeah,
and it's more like like low kind of key, like the way that he tells the plot and stuff. I feel like he would do a really good job with Nightmare on Elm Street. But again, I think that Quentin Tarantino would knock that shit out of the park, like 100%. But
too. You may be right. You know, I think Christopher Nolan's a little bit overrated. I think he's too full of smelling his own bullshit. But
I don't like him as a person, but I mean, again, his work is fucking beyond reproach in some ways. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might actually be right, man. Like, I think I would know what to expect from a Snyder Jason movie, but a Nolan Nightmare movie,
dude, it would be fucking
intriguing.
Yeah, dude, it would be like some dark psychological fucking thriller shit.
That's a really good fucking point. And then let me see here. Isabel's here. She says, "Peekaboo, hey Isabel."
Hey, Isabel, how you doing?
It's late up in Isabel's neck of the woods, man. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Isabel. And even though you can't join us on some of these because I know it's really late there, I hope you enjoy the replays and you're just as much in our hearts, whether you're here or not. I hope you know that. You're a huge part of WWAM and we love you. Mark Dorman says, "Hey guys, got to bounce to get a job application in by midnight. Can I get some encouragement from Chalice?" Well, let me tell you something, Mark. Being a doctor with an estranged ex-wife who's always on my ass about the fucking kids, when I just want to go to the bar and I want to watch the baseball game and have a couple Boilermakers, I can tell you this. A man wakes up in the morning and he puts on his aftershave and he shaves his beard to whatever extent he'd like to shave his beard. And then he slaps on some Brute. He goes out in the business. He puts on his members only jacket. You see a nice lady in the street, you smack her on the butt, and you say, "Hey, I just like the cut of your jib, little lady." And sometimes it works, and sometimes you end up in court. But let me tell you this, Mark. You go and you get yours because you're a man, and you do what men do. And if it doesn't work out, you have a six-pack of Miller High Life, and you say, "Oh, what for? What for?" And then you just go on with your business. You'll be okay, my friend. You'll be okay.
Drunk Barack Obama. Sorry, God.
Austin says Loomis and Ace Ventura buddy cop movie. That would be fucking hilarious. I would
love to see. Well, we almost kind of touched on that at Scarefest. We had a guy that was pretending to be, or he did a really good job of parodying Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura. I don't know what Scarefest it was, but we did that with him and Ernest. Mike was dressed up as Michael Myers. I was Dr. Loomis. Then we had Ace Ventura and Ernest. And dude, it was actually pretty fucking funny. Those guys were great. That'd be hilarious.
We kind of did that. That's fucking wild, dude. I forgot about that. Ryder, thank you, buddy. Says, "I love my dads." We love you, son. We love you. Now clean your room.
Get a job. What are you doing? You sitting around saying you love people. You should love a job. Employment. Word of the day. Employment.
All right. Night, Mark. We love you, man. All right, let's do the Halloween Kills news because I'm sure some of you guys here are only here for that because we're only a Halloween channel. I don't know if you guys know that. We don't do anything else.
That's all we do. We lick the ass of fucking Michael Myers all day long.
And he doesn't poop, so it's a nice ass to lick.
Yeah, it's a clean butthole.
Oh fuck. Let's see here. What we got going on here? That's something else. That's I was trying to look up the Canadian dollar.
Oh.
Trying to figure out what was going on with that super chat there. But no, they interviewed John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly interviewed John Carpenter. Amazing man. A man who doesn't give a fuck to tell you what the fuck he thinks. He'll shoot you straight. I like it. He's a straight shooter. But they asked him, the thing I found that nobody's talking about that I found pretty interesting, they said, "Are you finished with scoring Halloween Kills?" And Carpenter said, "We're done with that. Unfortunately, we can't score the next one, Halloween Ends, because everything's on shutdown. Hopefully, things will get better next year." What does that say?
Well, that means that they scored a really awesome soundtrack for Halloween Kills, but Halloween Ends is just kind of fucked right now. It's in the wind. It's floating around. Rose is holding on to dear old Jack, but the motherfucker might sink like bricks. I think that's like pretty much what we're talking about right now. And John Carpenter, everything's shut down. So production on Halloween Ends, it's kind of scary. I'm not saying that he revealed anything that's not, that's going to get anybody in trouble or anything like that, or gave us any kind of inside scoop. But it's interesting the wording of that specifically, that everything is shut down. That makes you wonder, are they going to, because Halloween Kills comes out this year, according to Jason Blum, Hell or High Water, it's coming out in October. Fuck the man. And it's going to come out, and that's it. So it makes you wonder if Halloween Ends is going to be pushed back, not indefinitely, but at least for a couple of years, or like maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's kind of,
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I think, and this is what happened when, which I'll be completely honest, when the pandemic started, and it was way back in the early summer, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I have some great memories. As horrible as everything was, I just want to say I have some great memories because of you guys of that time, because everything was scary, everything was shutting down for the first time. And we started doing live streams for the first time. And we just started having a goddamn blast with you people in the middle of this pandemic. As scary as everything was, it was a nice place to go and shoot the shit and let it out. And that was a wild fucking summer, buddy. That was a wild summer that we lived through.
It was a sexual adventure for all of us.
That was a wild. And once again, the Wham family came through, man. And you guys just made it something completely different. And those couple hours we spent with you guys every night or a couple nights a week was really special. But let me say this: when that came out, originally I said, no way, this shit will be handled. We'll be all right by October. I was wrong. They delayed Halloween Kills. But what I will say is this, and I said this then, the smart idea about delaying Halloween Kills a year was that they knew they had to film Halloween Ends. So by delaying Halloween Kills, a movie that you already had shot and you had it in the can, you could push it out a whole year, and that gave you a whole year of space to work with Halloween Ends. Whereas had they released Halloween Kills last October, we would have been right back to square one. It would have been a rush. We got to film it on time. We got to put it out on time. It could have changed the movie. It could have changed everything. Now where we're at is Halloween Kills is done. It's coming out this year, and they have a lot of extra time to film Halloween Ends. So what it sounds like is, I don't know when they're filming Halloween Ends. Maybe they already started with some stuff. I know Christopher Nelson's in Australia doing a movie right now, so yeah. I don't guess
he's doing Lord of the Rings Part 8. So don't worry about that.
I don't guess he's working on it right now. But whatever they did there by pushing out Halloween Kills, as bad as it sucked, it did give them a whole year to work on Halloween Ends. So I think if you look at the vaccine and you look at, they say that apparently as of things stand now, everybody should be able to get vaccinated by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
You know, the first Halloween movie it didn't take that long to film at all. I don't remember the exact amount, but it didn't take that long. So maybe they wait
like 4 to 6 months.
Whatever it was, maybe they wait and they go, okay, once we get past that vaccination checkpoint, then we can film it and we don't have to deal with all the regulations and all the shit.
Yeah.
And then they film it and they could bang it out in a couple months and they film it. And then maybe Halloween Ends comes out on time in October 2022, which is the perfect thing. And I think if you were to ask me if I was a betting man, I would bet that now that we delayed Halloween Kills, we're going to get these movies 1 year after it in succession. But the cool news is that they're done scoring Halloween Kills. I can't wait to hear that fucking score. And they made that also means that they made new shit for it. We're not going to go back to the same shit. As good as, oh my God, the shape hunts Allison. Oh, shit.
That was some good shit.
That's some of the best shit John Carpenter's ever done, son.
I think that the problem is that a recent interview with some scientists and doctors actually talking about the vaccinations is that the only way that it actually can be effective is if everybody agrees to get one. The more people that have the vaccination will, and by the middle of summer, they think that it'll be readily available to adults to take the vaccination. But, you know, a recent poll has indicated that not a lot of people want to get the vaccination because they don't trust it. And I'm not going to say I agree or disagree, but whatever. The point being is that also movie studios have pointed out the fact that they are nervous about releasing any movies, except, by the way, toward the middle of the summer and into the fall, which is devastating to the movie theaters. By the way, this is basically a death knell for the movie theaters. What I think will happen with Halloween Ends is Halloween Ends will come out. I don't think it's going to be next year. I think it'll be pushed back an entire year. I think that what's going to happen with Halloween Ends is it will come out for sure. They're going to tell the trilogy story. I just don't think that they're going to look. The reason why Jason Blum is like, whatever happens, it's releasing in October because they've wanted to have it in October no matter what. But even if movie theaters aren't at full strength, they're going to release it. Now, whether or not they got to, bend down and suck the devil's dick and got to release it on streaming and theaters, they're going to do what they got to do. Yeah. And they're going to lick that taint. And I think they're going to wind up doing that. Blumhouse is not stupid. They spent a lot of time and money in this project. They want the movie seen, especially in the month of October. So it's going to be released in October. I do feel that it's going to be released simultaneously in theaters and on stream. They're not going to be proud people and say, no, 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 only theaters. It's not going to happen because they also understand they're not going to take the risk of people being like, I'm not going to go see it in the theaters and they're not going to make any money. Yeah. If they only release it exclusively in the theaters, and look, by the time that movie comes out, things have changed dramatically. I mean, if you look at the movie theaters and the way that things have happened, and especially the virus and so on and so forth, we're not the same culture anymore. I mean, it's just a reality. You got to face it. You got to wake up and smell the roses at some point. We're not going to go back to what we were. Like it's just not going to happen. So what they're going to have to do, these movie studios, are adapt and feel those changes and move forward. And I think that Blumhouse is smart enough to do that. And John Carpenter, I think in this interview specifically, is alluding to that by saying that everything is shut down. Yeah, Halloween Kills is coming out. It's done. Like after that, he doesn't fucking know. Yeah. And he can't score the movie because he doesn't know when they're fucking shooting it. Yeah. So I mean, that tells you a lot of that's a lot of information, by the way. And I did notice somebody in the chat said he plays fucking Assassin's Creed, the Viking one, and he's a Viking. I was like, yeah, that's cool as shit. I think that's awesome. But
he's a great dude who loves his basketball and he loves his video games, and he's a fucking rock star and a movie director, which is pretty goddamn great. But he does go on to say as well. He says, they said, can you tease Halloween Kills for us? Smart move. Smart move of them to ask that. And he says, it's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. I mean, there's nothing more than this one. Wow. I know. I love that. That's strong words. That's like fucking goddamn Evander Holyfield coming down after your first boxing match. Like, you got some skill, kid. After you knocked out that asshole in 2 rounds, you're like, God damn, I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now. I feel good. Yeah. We talked to Christopher Nelson. He had also mentioned that he thought the movie was amazing. And then you hear from John Carpenter himself talking about how amazing this film, and why would he give a shit if it was a bad movie? He wouldn't publicize himself. He doesn't need to. I mean, he doesn't need to float his own fucking tune. He could just be like, yeah, it's a job or whatever. The fact that he says that's fucking amazing, dude. Again, I don't think Halloween Kills is going to be on another level. And I can't wait to fucking watch it. You fucking said it, dude. And I've said this on this channel several times. I am putting whatever my name means on the line. And it probably means about as much as a 6-pack of Bubblicious. But
or Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. Just me being a person who watches movies and pays attention to the movie news and lives in the movie world, and noticing beats and noticing how people respond to certain things. I think Halloween Kills is going to be fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. I think it is going to fucking blow ass. And I mean that in a good way. It's going to blow ass in the best of fucking ways. Because everything that you get that comes out about this movie,
I don't know how that's good.
No, I don't know either. But
I don't either.
Take it in a good way. I mean, blow ass in the greatest of ways. But man, John Carpenter is a guy who's not afraid. And number one, I'm going to preface this by saying, I know he's said this before. This is not exactly completely new news. He's already said this. He's already said it's the ultimate slasher. But here he says it's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. He's like, there's nothing more. He said there's nothing more than this one, man. Wow. That tells me right there that John Carpenter, who has no fucking qualms with coming out and being like, this shit sucks. I did it for a paycheck. Fuck you. Pay me. You know, he's the dude quitting his job at half baked, like, fuck you. You're cool. I'm out. That's John Carpenter. He didn't give a fuck. And he's not only just like, okay, you're going to say, oh, he's getting paid on this one, so he's going to say whatever. Fine. But it would be so easy to say, I think it's a solid film. I think people are going to enjoy it. People love Halloween, and the people who love Halloween are going to love this, or anything like that. Yeah, it's unusual for John Carpenter, who says shit how it is, to come out and be like, "This is the ultimate slasher. Holy fuck! Hold on to your nuts, squeeze them real tight, and then go to the fucking store and get a fucking 6-pack." And some popcorn, because this movie's gonna blow your fucking mind. And he said that. He went on a limb when he didn't have to say that. Dude, Halloween Kills is gonna fucking rip, dude.
I agree. I think that John Carpenter, like, he pretty much told Rob Zombie, I don't give a fuck what you do as long as I get that fucking bread money that I can line my pants pockets with. Like, yeah, if it was a bad movie, John Carpenter doesn't care. He would come right out of the fucking on the podium and tell you that it's a bad movie, or not maybe in so many words, because lawyers and shit. But he would definitely allude to the fact that you're not going to really enjoy this, much like Mark Hamill did, and he warned all of us in the Last Jedi how much of a goddamn turd that fucking was. Yeah. So yes, it's really exciting that John Carpenter digs it, and I you know what, honestly, reading that article and just knowing something about John Carpenter, especially hardcore fans, he doesn't need to suck ass on any kind of studio or director to have clout. He'll just say whatever the fuck he wants to say and get away with it, because he's done, man. He's 72 years old or 74 years old. He's done his time. He's given us great movies. He doesn't have to fucking say anything. Mm-hmm. And that's just the bottom line, man. And I'm excited for that. And I did notice. I don't really want to get in a lot of the vaccination bullshit or the virus or whatever, but somebody did ask, you can get it again though, right? Yes. That I will say that is true. But as far as like, if you feel comfortable getting your vaccination and you want to go out and do that, by all means, for sure, do it. There's 2 shots. But I don't want to get into whether or not, belief structure. I don't want to do all that, but either way, do I think that every American will have a vaccination by summer? No. Do I feel like this is going to go away by 2021? No. Do I feel like movie theaters will return to movie theaters by the end of 2021? No. But do I feel like Halloween Kills will be successful and come out in not only theaters but on demand? Yes. I feel like that 100%. And I don't think I think that this is going to be a very big learning curve for a lot of studios as well, because they're going to realize that, especially for a movie like Halloween Kills, people are going to buy it. They're going to pay for it, especially, at home. It's going to be a really interesting year. That's for sure. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, man, we've talked about that ad nauseum. I have a way more positive view of it than you do. I'm psyched as fuck that your parents and that my dad and soon to be my mom have been vaccinated. I think that the vaccination is going to go a long way. I think things are going to change a lot in a year, but that's neither here nor there. We know what's going to happen with Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is coming out hell or high water, as Jason Blum said, and we're going to get that movie. And we'll see what happens after that. But, either way.
Well, at the end of the day, the good story is John Carpenter's fucking all about it. That's the goddamn good news right there. John Carpenter's he's saying goddamn yes.
Precisely. Kelly Osgood says, hey there, Mike and Jay. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're fucking doing well, Kelly, because you're awesome and we love you. Long time
Kelly.
subscriber. Kelly.
I haven't seen her in a while. How you doing, Kelly?
Or Ash, man. It's nice to see you guys again.
Fucking hanging out with Saved by the Bell, Kelly Kapowski Osgood.
Gary Catlett says, wait a minute, Christopher Nelson is in Australia. Halloween, Michael goes down under.
If I see, you know what? If I ever see Michael Myers slaying kangaroos, then I'll be like, my time is over, and I want to end this now.
There's enough shit that can kill you in Australia. David Nangle III says, hey, fellas, hope all's well. Random, but I really don't want to see Hawkins arrest Michael in the flashback. How do y'all feel about it? Much love to all.
I don't think that's going to happen at all, and I don't think that Hawkins. First off, like that would be it's corny as fuck. I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think there's gonna be a flashback moment where Hawkins is actually slapping the cuffs on him and doing, his duty as a police officer. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be done well, and I think it's gonna be done effectively. It's not gonna be corny or cringy. Like, that's one thing I could expect from Jason Blum and Blumhouse and what they've done so far with the films. They're not gonna make it cringy. So I don't think. I feel like if they do that, that'll be stupid. I do feel the cringe already if just talking about it, but I don't think they're going to do that.
In my head, I actually don't mind the thought of seeing Hawkins arrest Michael at the end of 1978 because they've already alluded to it that it happens. I mean, they've said that it happens. They've explained.
He didn't really arrest. He was holding the cuffs, though. I mean, that's one thing.
Well, he says, I should have killed him. I should have killed him when I had the chance. Whatever happened there, I wouldn't mind seeing that scene take place. I think it would be fucking provocative. I think it'd get the people going. But we'll see what they do there. But Aaron Anderson.
I agree. I think that if Hawkins. Being the arresting officer is like one thing. I don't think that, I think that's cringy. If he's just holding the cuffs and be like, oh, I should have pulled out my gun, my service revolver, and shot him in the head at that point because he was such an evil bastard. That's
Yeah.
better than just him being like, I'm gonna slap the cuffs on you and take you to jail. Ooh,
Oh yeah, I mean, if they do it shittily, then they'll do it shittily.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to play with there. There's a lot of gray area there with how they actually do that scene. But I wouldn't mind seeing what they've alluded to actually take place, and we know something will take place because of the behind the scenes.
do you think that he was actually there though, or I mean, he was there, but do you think that he actually had anything to do with the arresting?
I mean,
I feel like he was just watching it. Like I feel like he was just a.
He said he had the chance to kill him. I mean, he said he had the chance to kill him.
Yeah, I feel like he was another cop that was at the scene, and the cops were leading him to the car, putting him into the car, and he probably had his hand on his gun or something, and he could have done that and gone to jail for the rest of his life. But I'm just saying, like he could have. I don't think he actually had anything to do with the actual arrest of Michael Myers.
I mean, to say that like I should have killed this guy when I had this chance tells me that he did have it. Like he was in the thick of the actual moment.
Or he could have been at the station and keeping watch over Michael in the jail cell or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do either way. Aaron Anderson says Halloween Kills was dead on arrival when Universal and Blum decided to delay its release for a year. They chose politics over releasing it on VOD. I hope when it comes out, it fails miserably. Hey, man,
I don't know about all that.
We appreciate the super chat, Aaron, but I gotta say I wholeheartedly agree with you, man. I think they didn't release it in theaters for. I think they had a really good reason not to release in theaters. I think, they still had to film Halloween Ends. This gives them an entire year to film the movie that they were going to be under tight constraints to film, even if they did release Kills. And then we were in the thick of things at that point. Like, I mean, tell me Tenet wouldn't have been a fucking way bigger blockbuster film had they not waited to release it. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have, but Halloween Kills, Halloween Kills had way more of a reason than Bond, than anybody to push that movie out, and that was Halloween Ends. So I mean, I don't understand the thought of wanting it to fail just because it didn't release. I mean, they're just trying to do the best for their business, man. They're trying to do the best for their careers and their lives. Can't blame them for that.
Yeah, I don't think politics had anything to do with it, dude. I think it was trying to save some fucking lives. That's what I think what happened. And then on top of that, look, Halloween Kills was going to look. I've been waiting. I love Halloween Kills, but I've been waiting for Ghostbusters Afterlife for a long fucking time, and that thing keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. Nobody wants to go to a movie fucking theater because they're disgusting as fuck. They were disgusting before COVID, and they're disgusting even now. And especially with everything that's happening, you can't even, like, as a common sense person, like, to go in and fucking sit. Like, they did it for all the right reasons. It had nothing to do with politics. That's the one thing that drives me up a fucking wall, because it's the same argument that people say, if you wear a fucking mask, it's political. It's not. It's just being respectful and courteous to your fellow fucking human. That's the same thing, and that's what they were trying to do. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I could get into that deep and down all day long. I just think that the reason why they delayed it was they wanted to make sure that as many people possible could go see it and feel comfortable. And I think they were hoping, and this is the reality of it, I think they were hoping that the movie theaters would open back up. They didn't. The movie theaters are on the brink of bankruptcy. That's the reality. Maybe they should have gone VOD. I'm not saying that I disagree with you entirely. Maybe they should have. Maybe October 2020, it should have been a VOD. But we'll see how it goes in October 2021. But, I don't think it was political at all. I don't think it was a politically motivated move for them.
Ash Lockhart says, "Hold me, baby, drive me crazy." Me and Kelly still rewatch that unboxing video of you guys singing that song. Kelly hates it when it gets stuck in our head. Hey, I hate it when it gets stuck in my head too. But sometimes good, bad music gets stuck in your head, and then you just got to go to the bathroom. And
that's not a bad song at all. That should be like, you should be like putting that on buy the fucking album and put it on your pedestal and give praise. That's one of the best songs ever. Okay.
It's a great song to listen to while you clean your room. There's no doubt about that. Thanks, Mud Nelson. He said that was supposed to say butt cheeks, but butt cheeks. I appreciate it anyway. Dirk Jason Hall says, "Mash that like button." I tweeted this the other day. I said,
"Oh yeah, I saw that. I was actually going to say that. Hey guys, make sure you mash that like button and fucking do it hard. Mash it, mash it, mash it. Because there's nothing like to say mash. You should mash that like button.
It's actually smash. I saw some guy, like, it was like a channel, and I heard that, and he was like, "Hey, smash that like button," and I was like, "Oh God.
Was it Pauly D from
No,
Jersey Shore?
it was
Because that
just some
sounds like some
fucking
shit
dude,
that
and I was
Pauly D
thinking,
would say.
Jesus Christ. Like, I that's what I tweeted. I was like, every time someone says smash that like button, God gets one step closer to ending the human race. It's such an annoying thing. But by the way, if you guys don't mind, make sure you click like on this video. It helps us in YouTube's ratings.
Yeah, smash that like button, y'all, and share it with your friends. By the way, I do want to point out, JT Customs. I mean, JT Customs have been talking a long. Okay, it's all good. He says, "Hey Jay, can you give my sister Caroline a birthday shout out as Slenderman?" I will. Sweet Caroline, bun, bun, bun. Hope you have a great day on the line. I hope you have a great one, Caroline. I hope your birthday is filled with many magical moments and that you get to go to maybe Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, Monkey Joe's. You have yourself an entirely good evening. And if you're older than that, then we hope you drink responsibly and you have yourself some wine. Have a good one, Caroline. Happy birthday to you.
Vanessa says, what about smoosh that like button?
Yeah, if we had like Arnold Schwarzenegger
Well, I
doing
think that was
the,
Slenderman. I just can't do it.
smoosh, you can smoosh. It's be like smoosh that like button. Thank you so much. You stopping by. Thank you so much.
The last piece in movie news that we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is before we do the review for the Burbs for our buddy McLean Oxenham. Dude, have you seen this about Wayne's World?
I saw a fat Mike Myers and a still looking normal Dana Carvey on some kind of Google thing. Dana Carvey still looks like Garth. Like he hasn't aged a day.
It's wild, man. I'll play the clip for you guys right now. It's gonna be a Super Bowl commercial for Uber Eats, and here's what the video looks like here. Let me press play on this. It's like 30 seconds.
Can we do this without getting sued?
Yeah.
And we're back.
We can play this?
2020, man, that was a great year.
I can't hear anything.
Not. Yeah, it really sucked.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Sucked,
I know.
donkey. Good one. We just wanted to say
You
that
know?
we'll see you soon for the game, which for legal reasons cannot be named.
We'll see you on the
'cause he hadn't clicked
big
it.
bowl.
The gigantic bowl.
Totally legal.
Yeah, completely legal.
All right, good teaser.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
So that was Wayne's
didn't-
World coming back for an Uber Eats commercial.
Oh.
Someone said something really interesting in the comments about this, and they said it's funny because they wouldn't do Noah's Arcades commercials. Like their whole thing was like, we're not going to sell out the sponsorships. We're not going to do all that shit. And now you bring them back and you have them in a fucking Uber Eats ad. I don't know. I'm just happy to see fucking Wayne and Garth back.
Hey man, I'm just happy to see Dana Carvey getting the fucking respect that he deserves. I mean, you know what? I love Mike Myers. I think Mike Myers is a comedic giant. I mean, obviously for all the right, but he's also a fucking thief. And I mean, that's just the reality of it. Dana Carvey got fucked in the ass real bad with Austin Powers. But the guy's got enough class and respect about himself that he never went after Mike Myers for that. Like, I mean, one of your good friends on SNL fucking stole your character, Dr. Evil, because he used to make fun of Lorne on SNL, and literally the fucking finger. I mean, like Dana Carvey did the finger, as Dr. Evil, and Mike Myers comes in and steals that shit. That's why there was never a Wayne's World 3, ladies and gentlemen. It's because Mike Myers literally pirated and fucked over Dana Carvey in what he did with Austin Powers, which a piece of shit might do, but Dana Carvey having enough class never made a big issue about it. But I'm glad that there is something like happening with Wayne's World, because again, I feel like we're robbed, because like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it would have been awesome to have a Wayne's World 3. Now they're kind of fat, they're kind of older, they're kind of like sagging in the skin. I don't know. It kind of sucks, man. Like you see all these like iconic characters like of your comedic child when you grew up. You see these comedians like they're at the top of their game, and then you see something that happens like this with Wayne's World 3, and you're like, damn, man, if you guys had just come out like 15 years ago. Well, I don't know if a Wayne's World 3 will ever fucking happen. I honestly don't know if it will, because they also did the MTV Music Awards or some bullshit at some point, or an SNL thing before this, and it never happened. It never manifested.
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides of the story for that for me. Yeah, I mean, Mike Myers did steal
He totally he totally did.
He stole Dana Carvey's idea for
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil and all that shit like that, and that's true. But at the same time, in my mind, Dana Carvey's able to look over it and go, hey, you know what? We still had a great career together. Us doing our thing together is the reason why Wayne's World's so popular. It had a huge boon on my career too. Whatever that was, maybe it's because Dana Carvey's just such a cool fucking guy.
He's awesome, dude. Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate to. I get what people are saying when they're like, "Oh, Wayne's World's supposed to be about not selling out, and here you are doing a commercial." But at the same time, I guess part of me just wants to be like, you know, I just want to watch the fireworks. Like, I just want to just enjoy it for what it is. It's cool to see. Like when that thing came on, I was like Wayne's World, and they're like,
it's
I'm
cool,
like,
yeah.
I'd rather just my personality, the way my personality works, is just to be like, hey. That's cool, man. It's cool to see that again. It's cool to see those guys hanging out again. I can't stand to look at the internet and be like, everybody like, oh, look how fucking fat and gross Mike Myers is. But man, like we get old, guys. Like fucking Jesus Christ.
Well, I think that Dana Carvey is like a goddamn immortal vampire, so because he looks exactly the same. Mike Myers, you know, it is Mike Myers, but I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I think a Wayne's World 3 would do really well, depending on the interest there. I mean, there are interests from people that grew up with the films, but all I got to do is look back at Dumb and Dumber 2 with Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny. Mike thought it was funny,
but
people that were trying to come and see it for the first time, they thought it was fucking stupid. They thought it was a terrible movie. It was way past its prime, and I kind of feel like the same thing. I don't want Wayne's World pissed on in the same world, you know, in the same way that Dumb and Dumber was kind of pissed on. Would I like to see a Wayne's World 3? Yeah, kind of. But I mean, at the same time, is it just a moneymaker kind of bullshit? Like they're gonna shit out a fucking like a movie, and they can make some money. Would I rather see another Austin Powers movie?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. And as far as Dana Carvey, look, I don't think he ever got justice. I don't think he ever he never got an acknowledgement first off from Mike Myers ever, saying that he stole anything. And, you know, and again, that radically shifted my opinion of Mike Myers. I like Mike Myers, but there's been a lot of things on Reddit about what kind of asshole he is in real life. And then he does that to his own friend and steals his fucking character. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, you know, Dana Carvey is a nice guy. I mean, he really is legitimately a nice guy, like a Keanu Reeves of the fucking comedian. He's probably like, you know what? I'm not gonna let it go, but you're an asshole. And Mike Myers like, yeah, but you know, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, you did a character in front of me and I stole it.
I think this is kind of happening in lieu of a Wayne's World 3. I don't think we'll ever see a Wayne's World 3. I don't need a Wayne's World 3. If Wayne's World 3 is announced, I will say this. I will root for it. I will hope it's funny as fuck. I will try to be positive, and I will try to say, hey, man, I fucking love Wayne's World 1 and 2. Like, dude, that was our childhood, right? I mean, that was great fucking times, but I don't know how good it would do. It would just hurt my heart to see them do it and it to not be funny, or to see.
That's what I'm saying.
Just the whole point. It's like you could look at it and be like, hey, these two guys are going out and they're playing characters they did 20-some years ago, and they're trying to be funny and they're trying to make people laugh and they're trying to bring a comedy movie to a world where we don't fucking have comedies anymore, and be like, cool. Or you could look at it and be like, oh, they're fucking old, cash grab. You know, I choose to be positive. And like, I would like to be good, but at the same time, it's not something I'm really screaming for. If they did it, I'd be positive and I'd hope it was great. And I really hope to go and laugh and have a good time. I don't see it being necessary either, though. If they don't do it, I'm just as happy. It's not something I'm pushing for.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And it has nothing to do with you know, Mike Myers or whatever. I really, I mean, Mike and I, our childhood was based on a lot of Wayne's World. You know, the movie that came out, Wayne's World 1 and 2. They were great. They were awesome. They were amazing. They were great films. But I feel like Wayne's World was a product of its time, and it did a great job in its time doing what it needed to do, and trying to bring it now with the same characters as they're older now, and trying to put them or kind of fit them into our society and trying to do the same thing. It's just not going to hold water anymore. Yeah. And the last thing I want to see is something that, you know, a series that I liked immensely, the Wayne's World series, just pissed on by a new generation. Be like, oh, well, you know, look at these morons acting like they're, 25 years old again. I mean, I was like, I take that shit personally because me and Mike act like we're 25 years old. We're pretty much doing a Wayne's World show right now. But the thing about it is it was a great show. It was awesome. I loved the movie, both of them. I really did. I just feel like the boat has sailed. If you were going to do a Wayne's World 3, it should have been 15 years ago or 20 years ago. It's already sailed out. I don't think you're going to get behind that anymore. As far as like people are going to like right now, Austin Powers could probably still do okay. If he did an Austin Powers 4, I think that Mike Myers would probably be able to do pretty well with that just because the James Bond thing is still strong and stuff like that. The Wayne's World thing with the hard rock, guys with the caps and stuff and the ripped jeans.
Yeah.
It was popular then because it made sense. But nowadays, I don't know if it's going to really, it's not going to flow. I don't know. It's just not going to work.
I definitely wouldn't want to see an Austin Powers either. I mean, Austin Powers would work better because he could disguise himself a little bit more or whatever.
Well, the whole Daniel Craig thing, I think they could still make fun of the Daniel Craig thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, either way, it's like, you know what? The final thing I have to say about this is it would have been way funnier if instead of doing that, they did it's like people only do things for money anymore, and that's sad. And they turned that into like a
that would have been hilarious. That's what they should have done.
That's what they.
But you know what that is? That's the pussilitis that goes through some of these celebrities' veins, and they're afraid to do shit like that. That they probably thought about something like that. They're like, oh yeah, but we don't want to offend any sponsors.
Well, I imagine they got the script and they got together and be like, hey, this will be fun to do. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they came up with it obviously or anything. But
how about this? How about Mike Myers and Dana Carvey? Dana Carvey, fucking amazing talent. Why don't those guys get together and create something new? I don't know.
Dude.
Maybe create something fucking new. Because they could do it.
Oh, dude, I got you one better. I got you one fucking better. I just had the greatest fucking idea. Like, hit me up with fucking Mike Myers and Dana Carvey's agents and the studios and Saturday Night Live and all that shit, Jay, because I just fucking nailed it in my own mind. How fucking funny would a Wayne's World podcast be? It's a Wayne's World podcast. It's just their voices. You don't have to look at them and realize like how further we are into the future. They're talking about the movie news of today. You literally just the voices. Imagine the voices of Mike Myers and Dana Carvey as Wayne and Garth doing a podcast like we're doing today. It's just audio, and you just hear them covering the movie like, well, apparently Marilyn Manson was like swing at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Like that fucking would blow the fuck. Dude, how often would you listen to that? And you don't have to worry about their aging. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. Oh my God. I don't come up with a lot of good ideas, Jay, but I want to take this one to the bank.
Well, what's in your mind though, Mike? There's a lot.
That's the one. That's my greatest idea I've ever come up with. A Wayne's World podcast. Fucking A.
I think Dana Carvey would do it. I think that Mike Myers is too full of himself to ever come back and do that. Like, maybe. I think he wants to be on camera. I mean, that's the facts. I mean, I think that Mike Myers is one of those dudes that, based on all the stories about him, he's a big diva. He doesn't give a shit about what's good for everybody else. He wants to make sure his face is on fucking camera. I mean, look at that goddamn bullshit that he did. What was that movie that he did with Justin fucking Timberlake? When he was the giant Sheba or whatever the fuck he was, like
he was in the Queen movie.
No, I'm talking about the one that he did, the comedy movie where he was like Queen Sheba. He had a big giant beard. The Guru. Yeah,
Guru.
Goddamn fucking garbage. I don't, that I actually like that idea, but what I think you'd get is you get Dana Carvey coming back to do Garth, and then you'd get somebody else that does a really good Wayne's impression.
I don't know. Hey, they can clearly work together enough to come together for a commercial. Why not a podcast? I think that'd be fucking great, man.
Because Moolah speaks a lot of money.
Hey, podcasts make a lot of fucking money, bro. If you got big,
well, if you're Joe Rogan, yeah, for sure.
Ours doesn't, but other people. But anyways, all right, that's the movie news for the night, guys. We got to go on to we got to do our movie review for the night. The Burbs, Tom Hanks. For our buddy McLean Oxenham. Amazing dude. Been a subscriber. Been a Patreon for a long time. We fucking love you, McLean. I love your name. You have like one of the coolest names of all goddamn time. Just so you know.
I hate you, McLean. Thanks for ruining my night with a shitty movie. No, I just want to be opposite, Mike. No, I love you. Thank you so much.
You say that with such anger, like I do that as a mean thing. It's just a joke, Jay.
That's weird that you took it as anger because I just took it as a normal joke.
All right.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's so angry and butthurt.
It's weird. It's like, weird.
You're like butthurt Batman.
Why don't you take your dildo out of your ass without the KY jelly? What?
Had you ever seen the Burbs before? Tonight, before you watched it this week?
Yeah, I thought we reviewed this before, like a long time ago.
Never.
I swear to God, we did.
Didn't. You're a liar and a whore. And I moved to strike. On that.
Well,
dick.
I think we did, but no, maybe we didn't. I think I'd seen this a long fucking time ago. I think I'd seen it maybe twice before I'd watched it, and I was a kid, so I didn't really get the references or like, because when I was younger, when I watched the Burbs the first time, I don't think I liked it. Just because I wasn't old enough to really appreciate the comedy and the subtleties in the film as you are when you get older. You're like, oh, I get it. I understand completely what they're doing now. So yeah, I'd seen it before, but I didn't know anything about it. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, this is the first time I watched it. And like I saw the pictures of it, but you know what I always get it confused with, dude, is the other Tom Hanks movie,
yeah, dude, me too. I literally told April, The Money Pit.
The Money Pit, yeah.
100%, because it's a neighborhood. It's the same fucking bullshit.
He's got the robe.
It's
He's
not
like
the same
all angry
thing,
looking and shit.
Like,
yeah. exactly. I always get confused with that. So I wasn't even sure if I saw it. I thought maybe when I started it, I would see it and I would be like, oh, yeah. But I didn't. I'd never seen this before. And guys, this is the weirdest fucking. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a suburban Beetlejuice without Beetlejuice almost.
Dude, 110%. I was watching it. I was like, dude, I get a fucking strong Tim Burton Beetlejuice vibe.
Yeah.
And I thought for a second, I really did. I thought that Danny Elfman did the score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, oh yeah, totally Danny Elfman is doing the score. I mean, it changes a little bit as far as like direction and the way that it feels after the first part of the movie. But yeah, dude, it feels strong like a Tim Burton movie. Like I was surprised that Tim Burton had nothing to do with this movie.
I think it's the suburban area that they're in, because it's all, the whole movie, guys, takes place in this one neighborhood. If you've never seen it, you gotta watch it. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest, coolest fucking movie you've never seen. It all takes place on one street, and the whole, like, everybody's houses, like they look like they're built on a movie lot. And I think maybe that's where the Tim Burton Beetlejuice, because it feels like a model of a suburban area, but. So Tom Hanks is a guy who's stressed out. He's on vacation. His wife is Carrie Fisher, who I hated this movie, but I'm sure you did too. I know you fucking did too. We'll get into that, like the character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they live in this neighborhood with a bunch of fucking kooks. Bruce Dern, who's awesome in this movie, as like a retired army dude.
He's the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's angry at everybody in the neighborhood.
The next time your dog shits in my yard, I'll staple his butt together. It's like, yeah.
And he's got this hot wife that's like 22. And then Art Weingartner is the dude's name.
He was cool too. I liked him a lot too.
What is that guy in? I'm literally looking.
He's been in a shit ton of movies. I don't know. I didn't look him up.
Spaceballs and Scary Movie. He was Sydney's dad in Scary Movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was.
He's like, yeah, they're going to be men coming by early in the morning, but don't worry about them. You know.
Just flush the cocaine down the toilet like Daddy told you. That whole thing. Yeah. He's the neighbor. Corey Feldman's in the movie. He doesn't have a big part in the movie. By the way, this is probably the best I've ever seen Corey Feldman look. He's got that smooth ass hair. He's healthy looking.
I feel like Corey Feldman in the film, I kind of liked it because I feel like that was the audience. He was like, I got the best neighborhood. We got the best film going on. Yeah. You should come over. And he threw a party at the end of the movie. And he invited everybody over just to watch the shenanigans of his fucking crazy neighbors. I'm like, I want to live in that fucking neighborhood. And by the way, never in a, I swear to God, not once have I ever, like, I know that he's Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but he totally fucking sounded like Donatello in this one. He was like, pizza time. Dude, I was like, I
almost here. We ordered the pizza, dude.
Every time I heard him, I was like, Jesus Christ, that's Donatello.
Dude, fucking same. I literally thought that when the van crashes, the pizza pots out. He's like, hey, it's the pizza dude. I was like, that sounded just like fucking Donatello. I mean, obviously it is him, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was great. Yeah, I mean, I was like, Jesus, man, you really, like, because this came out in 89. I think Turtles came out in 1990 or 1991.
Yeah.
So it was like a year before or 2 years before. No, it came out. Turtles came out in 1990. The first Turtles came out in 1990. So right after or during this, he was recording for Donatello.
I wonder if the dudes heard him say like, "The pizza dude's coming, guys, stick around," and they were like, "That's fucking Donatello."
Did you see those guys? They didn't even know who Donatello was except for an artist in Renaissance. Like we would be fucking like, "Oh my god, it's Donatello!" But those guys were like, Corey Feldman's annoying. Like,
but like, so Corey Feldman's a neighbor. Rick Ducommun is a neighbor. His name is very hard to say, which makes it hard. But Carrie Fisher's the wife. Bruce Dern's another neighbor. And then these weirdos move in to the neighborhood, and you got a bunch of suburbanite neighbors, including Tom Hanks, who are like all in everybody else's business. And these weirdos move in. And you know they're a bunch of fucking crazy cuckoos. Pretty much anybody you get moving into you next door in Kentucky, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But led by Henry Gibson, he looks exactly like the guy from the space dudes who killed themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Like the
you talking about the neighbor?
Heaven's Gate. Yeah, Heaven's Gate dudes.
Yeah, or Shermanator from American Pie, or the most hard. Yeah, the young kid, or the most hardcore Amish man you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, the young one for sure was, absolutely. But the old dude, the doctor, was Henry Gibson, and he's the guy who looks like...
He was good. I loved him.
Yeah, he looks like the Heaven's Gate dude. Really good actor. He's been in a bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about the young guy. That guy fucking looks like he looks like he would sew your mouth to a butthole in a Human Centipede.
The young dude that moves in...
I will cut you at your knees.
The young dude that moves in looks like Malachi's cousin from Children of the Corn. But anyway, these weirdos move in, and the suburbanites get together and like, they're fucking weird. I heard their house burned down, and like they start conjuring up all these crazy ideas, so they start spying on them, and then an old dude goes missing in the neighborhood, and then shit gets weird as fuck. I think the best part about this entire movie, dude, like of the entire movie that I really love, and the reason I'll go back and I'll watch it again, is when Tom Hanks and Corey Feldman and the other neighbor get together and they go to hang out, and they're like standing out in the street drinking a beer, and they're all talking about the neighbors, and like that weather, I don't know what it was about that weather. Like it was like you got the sense that you were in the middle of summer, at like the early evening summer, when everything's like quiet and it feels good as fuck outside, and there's like fireflies outside. And they were all hanging out, talking, and like trying to figure out what was going on. I don't know why. I just love that shit. It reminded me of when we were kids and we were pretending we were playing spies and shit. You know?
Yeah, man. I thought the movie was great. I think it was Tom Hanks that really sold it for me. I loved the idea that he was like a normal guy. Like he's just trying to enjoy his goddamn vacation, a week off from work, and then this crazy fucking shit's going on in his neighborhood, and he has to stand up and do it. He has to watch out what's going on. I don't know, man. Like when I watch the movie, there's a comfortable feeling to me. I don't know. Like it feels like a comfort 80s movie. I don't know how to really explain it in that way, but it feels very like coming home or something. Like it's like, yeah, mom's got a fucking pot roast on the stove, and the Burbs is on TV. Like I feel
that's
like
what I'm saying.
I feel like that. I think that what draws it in, again, Tom Hanks is a goddamn master performer. It's Tom Hanks. Like Tom Hanks is able to not only anchor the audience, but like to bring you into his strange world. And I fucking like immediately I was like, dude, this is badass. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, there were boring parts for sure, but just because I wanted to see how Tom Hanks would react off those boring parts, that's why I kept watching. So
yeah, and dude, the thing, I think that's the reason it reminded me of like good summer times that we had as kids, when we like get together and do really dumb shit, because it's basically mutual boredom. You know, like you get together as kids and you just do really stupid things, and you think of stupid things to do, and you spend your whole day like, dude, I heard the neighbor's fucking killer. Let's go watch him all day long. Like fucking play spy outside of his house. And they're grown ass men. And I think my favorite part of the entire movie was when they were all together, and like, by the way, and okay, this is the perfect point to talk about this. Carrie Fisher was the most annoying fucking wife of all goddamn time in this fucking movie, dude. She's basically your ex-wife. I could see that. Did you get that picture? Because I did.
No, she wasn't like her.
Everybody wanted to hang out and like do fun shit, and she's like, "It's your vacation. Relax on your vacation. Relax on your vacation."
I could see some, but no, she wasn't. She wasn't as villainous as. Look, that cunt would have fucking locked my leg in the basement before she let me go and talk to any of you. I would have had a handcuff on the fucking heater in the basement. But I get what you're saying.
But the idea of her, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? She's hot as fuck.
Well, she did look good. Yeah, she looked great.
I was like, I'm kind of digging Carrie Fisher in this, but
the scene where they all go up to him and she's like, she's up Tom Hanks's ass the whole movie. Like, dude, imagine being on your work vacation and trying to relax and like having your wife be like in your ear the whole day, like, relax. You need to relax. Why aren't you relaxing? What's wrong? And like, I can't relax because you're in my fucking ass all night. But when he finally starts to lose it a little bit and he just sits back there and he starts drinking beers in the backyard and they come over and they're like, hey, I don't remember his name, but they're like, hey, could Tom Hanks come out and help us? And she's like, no, he can't. And they're like, well, come on, could you just ask him? And she's like, I think I've given my answer. It was exactly like when we were kids, dude. And like either you and Cody would come to my house or like I would come to your house and be like, hey, mom says you can't stay the night, dude. You got to go home. You know?
I love the, I can't remember his name. I've seen him in so many movies. The chunky guy, his neighbor, dude, he was so like he was on point as far as comedy level. Like he was the guy, the release valve for the film itself, because he was like, he was like, I dare you to go ring the doorbell. Okay. And he was like, Tom Hanks was like, no. And he's like, you're going to be a coward in front of your own son. Your own son. I love that guy, man. Like, he was great.
That was like the scene when his house is on. They're like, hey, your house is on fire and your wife is home. He's like, my wife is home?
The movie it's really a unique film, man. It's fun as fuck. I really enjoyed it. Like, the music was on point. Again, it reminds me a lot of Danny Elfman in a lot of parts of the movie. It does feel like a Tim Burton film. It's not. The ending is kind of strange. The only thing I will say is that they were going for an ending of the movie, and then they kind of 180 it real quick, and then it turns out to be true. I wouldn't have done that because I feel like, I don't know. I'd be like, because the ending of the movie when they did, when the house explodes and all that shit, I'm like, and then it's like, oh yeah, we didn't find shit. I'm like, I was kind of like, I was disappointed. And then I like the true ending I liked, but it's like, why did we need an extra 25 fucking minutes for that? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was happy to see that it was true because I didn't want them to, I didn't want to know those characters like had their entire lives ruined. Now the fact that they find out it's true, those guys get a get out of jail free card. So
I liked the ending, like that it ended on a happy note for the characters that we liked.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, why did you have to do this extra 25 fucking minutes of a fill in? Like, I don't know, just end it the way that it should have ended, like right away.
I think they were just trying to keep us all on the fish hook of like what's going to happen next, because that's the whole idea of the movie, right? Is it true? What's going on? Are these neighbors really fucking psychopathic murderous killers, or are the suburbanites the ones who are assholes? I think that was the juxtapose of the whole movie, which made it work. But I think what really made it work, dude, is A, it was funny. B, it made you feel like you were in a suburban neighborhood during the summer when the weather was great and everybody's interactions with each other and your neighbors. It's one of the weirdest movies ever, where it's a movie in a petri dish, dude. It's one of the strangest films ever. It's like there's no world outside of it. It's just these guys in their little neighborhood, and they made it seem so big and so spectacular. I love the fuck out of this movie, dude. I thought it was funny as shit. I love the camaraderie between the guys. I love there's like 100 quotes out of this movie. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it again, no doubt about it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm at an 8 myself. I think the movie was really good. I think it dragged on a little bit more than it should have at the end of the movie. Like, let's just get to the fucking point, Jack. I mean, I'm tired of waiting on your excuse. Are you in or you out? Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was trying to be one thing and then it decided to be something else. But as far as acting ability goes, as far as drawing in the audience, as far as being an entertaining flick, for fucking sure. Like, and there's a reason why it's a classic film and people revere it so much. And Tom Hanks was great in it. Tom Hanks is great in really anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great film, man. I just feel like it could have cut out some, like, some fat, like 10 minutes of the film, maybe 15.
I could totally see it losing 10 minutes, man. But it's one I definitely recommend to anybody who likes like black. Almost it's kind of hard to put it in a genre.
You recommend it to like anybody that likes black?
Yeah, if you like black.
If you like black, you never go back.
Yeah. No, if you like black comedies, if you like black horror-ish, like I even watched it with MJ, and I was like, hey, you want to watch this horror movie? And she's like, is it scary? I was like, well, it's kind of a horror comedy. She wanted it to be scary. I'm like, and like halfway through it, she's like, I thought this was a horror movie. What the fuck? And I'm like, you're not appreciating the nuances going on here, lady.
Does this not feel like an offshoot in a way of like an Addams Family story?
Yeah, but way more entertaining. I'm
not saying like not entertaining. Or you remember that the movie Monster House, the animated series Monster House. It kind of feels like that too.
I get that too. It's a one of a kind, man, and I'm so happy to actually watch it for the first time. It was really enjoyable to watch, and I think if I had to pick one thing, and I've said this already, but I'll say it again.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even mind. You try.
Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme. No, if I had to pick one thing that just really hit me on this movie.
One thing, I don't know why. I want to do it every time you say one thing.
Crawling in my skin.
I'm not gonna do that, but go ahead.
If I had to pick one thing, I don't know why. It's even better how hard I try.
Yeah.
Dude, it really felt like it felt like it brought me back to the days in like suburbia summer when we were like hanging out as kids, like spying on people and doing shit we weren't supposed to be doing. But it had the added caveat of those being adults doing that, which just, I loved it, man. It was such a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
McLean, you are a fucking prince. That is a great choice, dude. If you've never seen the Burbs, guys, watch it today. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, man. It was a great movie. I gave it an 8. Stephanie, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, sad Jay didn't like it as much. I did like it. Like, I gave it the same score. I might have more or different reservations about it than Mike does, but I do enjoy it a lot. It's a great film for sure. Yeah, man, the Burbs. Like, I don't know what you're doing if you haven't checked it out.
Put it in your herbs. Put the Burbs in your herbs.
Ah!
Ash Lockhart.
That's what I would do if an herb went in my butt. Ah!
It reminds me of Resident Evil. Like, I gotta mix this herbs with some gunpowder so I can survive. Ash Lockhart says, hit me, baby. Drive me crazy. Love you guys. We love you too, Ash. Thank you so much.
Love
I'm glad you guys are here tonight. Austin says, suburban life ain't what it seems. Suburban life ain't what it seems. Suburban life is the American dream. You remember from Scream 2?
No, I was going to say, is that a Beastie Boys new album?
The Cottonmouth Kings from Scream. That was a great, dude. I'm going to listen to that after this. Not a good song, but it's good because it is on the Scream 2 soundtrack. Gypsy Warrior says, how depressing. We never got George Miller's Justice League Mortal. Armie Hammer would have been brutal as Batman. Yeah, he would have fucking eaten his girlfriends. He would have eaten Vicky Vale. Plus, Morton Joe as John Johns. John Johns. What were you going to say? Sorry.
No, I didn't see the super chat. I can't. I don't know.
He said, how depressing. We never got George Miller's Justice League Mortal.
And what else?
And Armie Hammer would have been brutal as Batman.
Yes, I agree with both of those. George Miller would have been it would have been fantastic, and Armie Hammer, despite the fact that he's an asshole, and whether or not those stories turn out to be true, I think he would have really rocked the cowl as Batman. I think he would have been quite good. So I'm not gonna make fun of that. I'm not like, I think he'd be good, and I would have been fucking happy with Armie Hammer.
That guy leaks fucking Batman, dude. He just looks like Batman, which makes it all. I guess that's what Bruce Wayne does in his off time. But either way, McLean Oxenham, we fucking love you, dude. Thanks for being such a supporter of us, and we hope you have an awesome week, dude. We hope all you guys have an awesome week. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Bye, y'all.
See you Friday night. Get wet.
We gotta get down there on our Friday. You guys gonna have a good time. Don't you worry.
Will you?